Guys, Robert here, along with returning guests Ian and Bianca. Going through using something different in StreamYard. As you can see in the corner by Ian's head, it's Restream. A new type of, different type of thing, but very similar to StreamYard. So let's see how this goes. So let's just, well, you guys want to say hi, of course?
Hello.
Hello. How hi. Nice to see you again, Ian.
Indeed, nice to be on the stream with you, Bianca.
Thank you.
Save here. So let's just start right away with the main topic, the Mario casting that was revealed during Nintendo Direct. Feels like everyone's outraged about it. I'm like, I'll wait for a trailer because you never know with certain creators and everything, especially
burn it with fire.
Hey. What, you're not a fan of the casting?
It's not that I'm not a fan of the casting. It's that I agree with everybody else that they're using
Charles should have been.
Not just Charles, but like they're mostly so focused on Hollywood to get to have everybody into the movie except actual professional voice actors.
I will agree with that. That part I will definitely agree with. But when you have Illumination involved, what were you expecting? When have they ever not gone with celebrities?
I was very surprised that it was going to be Illumination.
Yeah, but when you think about that, the Illumination's pretty good at matching that type of style. You think that would appeal to Nintendo compared to the others who are either too adult and all that. Illumination seems to more tread that balance, I think, compared to DreamWorks, for example.
Illumination is the one who made this Despicable Me
and the Minion movies.
Yeah. Those don't exist for me.
Not a fan?
No, I think it's just too much for me. It's not that I hate them or anything.
I understand, but yeah, though I mean, but I showed the point out that one of the directors is the guy, and one of them actually no, both of them, the directors worked on the Teen Titans Go movie, which was actually pretty good.
I still haven't seen it yet. I know I have to.
It was good. What did you think about that movie, Ian? Did you see it?
I saw it in theaters. I thought it was very cute. There are a couple of
in the show.
Oh, I thought we were talking about the movie.
No. I said the movie was better than the show.
I mean, I don't hate the show. I just don't watch it like regularly.
True.
I think it has fun gags.
But yeah, the movie I thought was very good. It actually had a good plot to it. The head-bangingness of the stupid humor was almost hardly in sight.
It was a lot more tightly written, and
yeah,
I think I'm going to make this joke, and please, everybody, this is an actual joke. So, you know the scene in the theater where they're all like, Robin's like, I'm going to get a movie, and then you get the butler, and then you get the car, and then you get the utility belt. All of them get movies, and Robin gets no movies. But I think that's hilarious because we have Pennyworth the show, we have Batwheels the show. And I think that this Bat Tech is going to get a show too.
Oh no!
So literally, Teen Titans Go predicted the future.
And I'll say this: Will Arnett being both now Lego Batman and Teen Titans Go Deathstroke. And yet I can't tell the difference. You know what I mean? That's what I like about Will Arnett. He's like, he can actually blend into his roles if he needs to.
He's a very good actor, especially with his voice. I definitely agree.
Yep. But, and the writer worked on, he contributed story moments to the second Lego movie. He actually wrote the upcoming Minions: The Rise of Gru movie, and one of the other movies he did a straight script, not just a story credit by, was one of the Big Mama movies. So this guy's very hit and miss.
What was his name?
This is the writer. That would be Matthew Fogel. But as far as the cast, though, you have Chris Pratt as Mario, Charlie Day as Luigi, Anya Taylor-Joy as Peach, Jack Black as Bowser, Keegan-Michael Key as Toad, Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong, Fred Armisen as Cranky Kong, Kevin Michael Richardson as Kamek, stand-up comedian Sebastian Maniscalco as Spike, and even Charles Martinet is still going to get a bunch of cameos, thankfully.
Freaking cameos.
Yeah, but who knows?
The real thing.
Yeah, but, here's my defense. Given how it's obvious, neither Chris nor Charlie are going to ever be able to pull off a good Italian accent. I think that means they're going for the Brooklyn voice. And let's be honest, Charles has never done Mario with the Brooklyn voice, ever. It's always been the Italian.
They're going to do Mario as a Brooklyn instead of
he originally was. He originally was Brooklyn.
Who told me he was Mexican?
He was never Mexican, never.
There would be so many jokes when I was a kid on how he was rather Italian or Mexican.
No, Italian, yes. Mexican, no. But that Italian was always a part of it, but he was also from Brooklyn. That was a big part in the early days, especially. That's why he always had more of a rough voice when you had Captain Lou voicing him, for example. Hey, Pasados, it's the Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
Oh, you're right. I remember it. I remember seeing it. But I like, would he not know how to do a good Brooklyn accent if he was given the chance?
We don't know. No, I think it's also the amount of dialogue as well. I'm not one who said he only does just a few better lines. He's done long form commercials, but he's getting up there in his age. Who knows if he could actually pull it off for the whole movie?
Heresy.
And doing Mario and Luigi.
Anybody can do it. If a voice actor can do it, a voice actor can do it.
But again, he is getting up there in age, is what I'm saying.
What? How old is Jim Cummings?
Okay, let me check. Charles is 66, and Jim Cummings is 2 years older.
And he played Tigger and Winnie.
He's done so many, but everyone is also built differently.
That's true.
You can't just simply say one's been, lasted that long.
At least Kevin is on there. Kevin Michael Richardson. He was my favorite Joker.
Really?
Yes.
Not Mark?
I love the Batman from 2005.
Oh, I got to make the joke. Batman doesn't eat nachos. I had to make that joke. Are you aware of that joke, Ian?
I am not. I've only watched a few episodes of The Batman.
Oh, yeah. There's a point where Batman eats nachos because he's supposed to be a younger age. Almost like you'd be the equivalent of being just out of college age. And everyone
he also gets Batgirl before he gets Robin, which I still.
That was due to
a licensing issue, right?
Yeah,
but it still was fun.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool.
Oh, I loved it. I loved the Batman and the Batman, and that was pretty much Alan Burnett's Batman for most of it. Oh, the later season.
Jackie Chan Adventures Batman.
Yep, you have.
Since it was created by the same animators and one of the choreographers or something like that.
Yep, definitely. And again, that was such a clever one. But we can jump into that in a moment. The other bit of news would be, for example, the rumors that because we have Veronica Alonso, no relation to Axel Alonso, I looked it up, taking over as president of Marvel. Everyone's saying, oh, she made a comment a while ago that she's not a fan of X-Men. That means she's definitely going to be changing it. It's like, did she say that? Even when she made that comment, she just said she never really cared for that. She never said anything about if I had it, I'd change it. She never said that.
That's funny because I'm just hearing the official source and what she really said now. When back in the day when I would look at clickbaity titles, they said that she did say that.
She did not say if I had the power. If I had the power, I'd do it. She never. I mean, where do you stand on that, Ian?
On which one?
We're talking about the Veronica Alonso being made president, saying how she always had issues with the
X-Men thing?
X-Men.
Yeah, the X-Men name, and now everyone's jumping on saying, "Oh, she's going to change it," when there's nothing that indicates at all that she will change it.
I mean, first of all, the X-Men are owned by Disney.
Yep.
Changing the X-Men to anything else would lose money. And they just spent a lot of money and risked incurring an anti-monopoly action from the government. One of the only things Disney actually is afraid of. They spent a lot of money and a lot.
They're not like Twitter. They're not like Twitter, who can make them dance. Disney is at their mercy.
Ish. But so Disney just did this to purchase the X-Men. They are not going to change the name. They're just not. That's not how business works.
I know, and I've heard someone argue saying, well, Sana Amina took over and got into her position and brought a lot of changes, to which I then said, yeah, through the comics, where at the point when Disney didn't care and focus on it at all, now you have Kevin Feige keeping his eye on him a bit closer, and you have the fact that, again, she just slipped it in and was pushing it all through the comics, and then once the comics got big, she was then able to convince Disney to put some focus into them and other media. It had nothing to do with the fact that she's like, I have this mighty power, I'm going to just demand it.
I saw that comment.
Yeah. I just think that... Okay, so, first of all, I think her comment was stupid. So nothing I say is me saying I agree with her comment.
Oh, agree. No. I agree with what you're saying.
There have always been women in the X-Men. Everyone knows that the X-Men is an inclusive group. Everyone knows that it's about, it's a metaphor for minorities. X-Men has never been cis-normative, heteropatriarchal, whatever. It's always been about minorities and equality and stuff. So someone who says, well, X-Men isn't inclusive because it doesn't include the X-women.
Even when Brian Wood's X-Men run was all women, no men, and yet they were still called the X-Men.
Isn't the men in X-Men just means like the human?
Yes.
Right, exactly. And I would point out that a film that I think most people would consider the worst X-Men film, I think it's X-Men Dark Phoenix, has Mystique saying you should call it the X-Women, and that didn't make that movie any better. So
yeah, and not that, but it's also like you're not all. You and Gina are the only two, and Storm are the only women.
But I think that the comment itself is just monumentally ignorant and stupid and careless.
But now does it mean that she doesn't know comics? And I think that's up hugely for people to assume that.
I will not judge anything about her except that comment was dumb. That's the only thing
I'm seeing people saying that as well, saying like, oh, she doesn't know comics. She's produced ever since Iron Man. So, she's at least picked up on stuff.
That being said, I think that people getting all outraged and afraid and anxious, it's just not going to happen. Disney spent too much time, too much money, and too much publicity.
Marketing would tell them no.
It's going to be X-Men for the next 10 years at least.
Yep.
Just don't worry about it right now.
And I will also say this. It's the thing with marketing. Yes, marketing might make them rechange what their product is. They may rechange, how they are marketing it. They may do all the stuff that does show wokeness. But one thing I've noticed, they've never changed any brand names. Have you ever noticed that? They've never changed the brand name. They might do stuff that contradicts the brand name, but they've never changed the brand name itself. They're not going to change X-Men. No matter how woke the marketing team is, they know you don't mess with the brand name because that's going to hurt sales.
I just remembered when Disney XD was showing Shaolin Showdown Chronicles.
It was just Shaolin Chronicles. It was just
Shaolin Chronicles. That's what it was. Thank you.
But, now, to be fair, though, any changes that were done there were not because of Disney XD. That was because everything moved to Canada.
Somebody was telling me it was like a Warner issue or something.
Something like that. But for one, that's why a lot of the cast was changed, except for Tara Strong, because she's has dual citizenship. So
a lot of characters' voices were switched. You have people switching their voices, and I'm like, why? You voiced that.
That's why I just
why would you switch?
That no one switched it. They were all replaced except for Tara.
Wait, I think I got it wrong. Tara was voicing most of the characters, wasn't she?
No, she only voiced Omi. You had Jennifer Hale take over as Kimiko. That was Gray's voice, which I think that's not a bad replacement. Jennifer Hale for Gray.
Jennifer Hale's amazing.
Jennifer Hale is my favorite.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Who else could you see replacing Gray as a voice, right? Now, granted, I think Jennifer Hale is a different level of sultriness compared to Gray. Gray is like that makes you melt sultriness. Jennifer is that, you almost want her to do horrible things to you kind of sultriness. In a good way, I mean.
My favorite princess, okay?
You know what she voiced two princesses? You know what she voiced two princesses, actually?
Princess Aurora and Cinderella, yeah?
Yep, but you know why she had to drop doing one? Because she hasn't done Aurora in ages because
they crap her.
Well, here's why. Because the toys made it much more clear that she did this almost the same voice for both characters.
Oh.
That's the main reason, because the toys made it much more obvious.
I know.
So they realized we can't keep her doing that. She might do a great job, but I think that was the point when they realized it's fine when you see them in their separate mediums, but when you have them on the toy shelves and you have two kids holding up one and the other listening, they're going to notice.
Lie and say they're twins.
Who did? Okay, hang on. I'm looking up who did the voices of the princesses in.
They were different actors originally, anyway.
No, in Wreck-It Ralph 2.
The one who did Pocahontas and Mulan are also the same, I believe.
Well, it was pretty much most of their original voices, with the exception of Snow White, even though the actress is still...
Aurora, because Aurora, I'm pretty sure her actress is dead too.
No.
She made a cameo in the Giselle movie. It's a parody of the princess movies live action. Enchanted. She made a cameo in Enchanted.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm looking up the cast.
Okay, so Irene Bedard did Pocahontas, Kristen Bell was Anna, Jodie Benson was Ariel, Ali Carvalho was Moana, Jennifer Hale was Cinderella.
Kate Higgins is Aurora, has taken over as Aurora, and she portrayed her again in the movie.
Yeah, so Kate Higgins, Linda Larkin was Jasmine. Is Linda Larkin the original Jasmine?
Yes.
I thought it was...
No, you might be thinking about her singing voice.
Yeah, I'm more familiar with her singing voice.
Yeah. And the only person who changed was Snow White, but that was because it was the screenwriter who did it.
Yeah.
I just like how we're talking about princesses now.
Yeah, it looks like they pretty much just got the original actresses, except for Snow White and Aurora, because those actresses are dead.
And Cinderella.
Oh, and of course, because Cinderella also dead.
When did the Princess Aurora's voice actor die? Because Enchanted was only a few years ago, wasn't it?
I'm looking.
I'm talking about the original Snow.
No, actually, no, she's still alive. No, she's still alive.
Oh, you said Snow White?
Mary Costa, the voice for Aurora, is still alive.
Yeah.
From the 1959 film.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah. It even says here, she is the last surviving original voice actress of the first three princesses.
Wow, she's 91. I thought she'd be older.
Nope, she's 91.
Goodness gracious.
She was also she was in Enchanted, and she made a cameo.
That was one of her last roles.
Princess. And I don't remember which princess that was, but I'm pretty sure the princess voice actress who was next to her passed away.
I forget, but
it's got to be
Holy
Snow
cow,
White.
I did not know that actress was still alive.
I know.
That's ridiculous.
She still looks great.
Oh yeah, she does. But yeah, all the other actresses, Irene Woods was the original, and she died in 2010. And Eileen Wood, and for Snow White,
I mean, Snow White was in the 30s. There's no way that actress is still alive.
Oh, yeah, 97.
Yes.
She died in 97, yeah. But yeah, for the longest time, it was Catherine Von Till, who's still doing her with the exception of Breaks the Internet. Oh, you know who was her singing voice?
Who?
Melissa Disney. Yeah.
Wait, for who's singing voice?
For Snow White.
Nice.
Up until 2010, anyway. Now she claimed that this is a woman who claims to be a distant relative. So she might not actually be a Disney for all we know.
Hey, you're a relative, just distant.
But yeah, like I said, pretty much everyone else though was. But yeah, so it's been Jennifer Hale and Kate Higgins as Cinderella and Aurora.
I will accept that.
Yeah, Kate Higgins is a great actress too.
Yeah, I like Kate Higgins a lot.
But especially her as Pauline in the Mario Odyssey.
I don't know that one.
The one with Mario throwing his hat.
Well,
you throw the hat and he takes over the bad guys.
No,
I don't know that one. It's one of the most recent ones.
Video game wise, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't played it. That's why.
Yeah, well, yeah. Pauline was the girl that Donkey Kong kidnapped.
Oh, okay.
In the red dress.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So anyway.
She played Toph in the Legend of Korra.
Oh, yep.
I've heard of like most of her stuff, but I've never really watched any of it.
Well, technically, she played old woman Toph. Well, no, actually, no. She played Toph as an adult, not the old woman Toph.
Oh, okay.
That was Phyllis Sampler who voiced her. That was the one actually who passed away just recently. She was Mimi and Cody and Digimon. So many anime roles.
Oh, she did Barbara Gordon in the Batgirl Year One motion comic.
You're talking about Kate again. You're talking about Kate again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, she's been all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't look at the motion comics. They made me nauseous.
Some of them
I
do.
can sort of
all,
understand that.
Do.
I thought Batgirl Year One worked okay because it's such a cartoony style that they don't do things like Astonishing X-Men. It's much more textured, so the fact that they do like CGI textures was weird.
The first two volumes, anyway. The second two were done by a separate company.
Oh, okay. I don't know if I made it that far because I was just like, I'll just reread the comics. Especially because I don't think they had Emma Frost played by a British actress. I'm like, come on.
No, I don't
think. Come on.
But again, they did change cast between each release because the first one company went under.
Honestly, I don't really understand motion comics. Like, I don't think the market's big enough for them. I think that people either want an animated adaptation or they want the comic. The motion comic doesn't really please either side.
Okay, you know what? Let's just skip I'm going to skip the Ditko talk because I think we can all agree it's going to end in a settlement. It's not going to take away from anything.
Disney spent too much money to get Spider-Man. They're not going to give it up. And they're always willing to bend the knee to Sony just to make sure, well, within reason, obviously, just to make sure they keep the movie rights. Right.
Here's the other thing, though. People are saying, oh, that's why they're going off Doctor Strange. No, it's not. No. It took how many years for the Siegel-Schuster case before it finally started to affect the Superman books? Years.
Do they credit Ditko?
No.
Not from my knowledge.
I think Spider-Man, it's more likely
it's going to be a Bill Finger, Bob Kane deal.
Right. I think it's going to end up like the Superman and like...
Or the Kirby one. The Jack Kirby. I think it's going to be more the Jack Kirby one, less the Siegel-Schuster one.
Well, the end of the Siegel-Schuster contretemps was that every time you have Superman, you have to credit them.
Yes,
I think this will be the same. This will be the same.
That is very true.
Marvel, every time you use Spider-Man, you're going to say created by Stan Lee and Steve Ditko. I think you're going to have to say that.
Now, do you think the Lee estate's going to jump in?
I don't know.
I think it depends on if the Ditko's estate try to claim they're doing that BS saying Steve did it all, Stan did nothing. If they do that, then they'll jump in.
Yeah,
if they don't,
I think if they attack Stan, then his estate will jump in and his kids. But if they're just
daughter, he only has one kid, daughter.
Right. But he's got to have more family that are around. Because I think his brother is still around.
No.
No?
Oh, let me check.
I'm pretty sure his brother's still around.
I'm looking. I
think checking.
Because he was still doing the newspaper strip until relatively recently. Yeah, he's still around.
You're right, he is.
Huh?
89 and Stan was 95. So yeah, younger brother.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, so you're right. He's part of the estate too. So he probably would jump in just as much if that happened. Now, remember, this is not Steve we're dealing with. This is Steve's brother. Do you think that they'll be willing to do an attack like that, or do you think they're not going to push their luck?
I mean, if Ditko were alive, yes, they would.
No,
but
Steve. No, if Steve was alive, they wouldn't have done this. He didn't want to do this.
Really? Why not? He was so bitter about it.
He actually, from what I understand, not as bitter as people make it out to be. I think people have always blown out of proportion how much he was bitter. But he just wasn't that type of guy. Remember, this is a guy who believed in Anne Wright and all that.
That's true. He's I'm gonna create value. I'm not gonna spend my time being a parasite.
Anne Wright, what's
Atlas Shrugged, the Fountainhead.
Yeah, Atlas Shrugged is also known as, what's that type of belief? The
Objectivism.
Objectivism, yes.
It's like really extreme libertarianism.
Very black and white to the insanity levels.
Yeah, it's like I'm a conservative person, like politically, and I think that it's way too far.
A lot of people do. And technically, even the questions what to be an objectivist and all that stuff, but even that's always been reined in. But
now I know.
Okay, so we'll just go over and get done with that, and let's just jump into whatever topics on our minds.
Fear state.
Fear state. Oh yes, fear state. What do you think about now that we actually have an explanation behind it all? I don't think James Tynion was banking on being so close to what's been going on in current events lately. When he first came up with this, because he obviously had to come up with this months ago, I don't think he realized he was as on the nose as what's been going on currently.
I mean, the thing is, if you look at what he's doing, this is basically him doing Mimetic, one of his first creator-owned comics, in Batman. This is the same thematic obsession that he's had for like 10 years. So this isn't him trying to be topical or ripped from the hell.
I agree.
This is what Tynion thinks. This is what he's always thought. And so I respect that. And I agree with a lot of what he's saying.
Oh, yeah. And that's the thing. That's what I love best about Department of Truth. It shows that he might have his own personal politics, but when he's writing it all, you don't see it because he will call out both sides and everything. He's the anti-Tom Taylor.
Yes. He's very nuanced. That's the thing I really like. Like, if you
that's
read
why the shame that he's leaving. That's a shame why he's leaving.
I'm so sad that he's leaving. Like, I'm happy for him. Like,
oh yeah.
Like,
now, do you think he'll come back? Do you think he'll come back?
I think it will really depend on how well he does. If he does really well, then I think he'll be gone for at least a decade. If it doesn't do well, I think he'll come back.
It'll probably be 2 years or something, I think, tops. At the minimum. No, not tops. At the minimum. 2 years minimum.
2 years minimum, for sure.
Because you got to give all next year. You got to give all next year, and then probably another year or a year and a half.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah. Now, I'm probably going to stick through being on his... I think the big question is going to be, how many people are going to stick around after he's done with his Batman portion of his newsletters? That's the big question. That's a lot of people around. What?
The Batman newsletters on Substack?
Yeah. That's the big question. How many people?
I actually cover those for the website I write for, so I'm reading those. But I have to admit, I'm more interested in like Something's Killing the Children or Department of Truth than I am this UFO thing. Like the UFO thing doesn't feel as gripping to me.
It doesn't.
Like, I love Michael Avon Emming. Like, this is not like a knock on either the writing or the art. It just does the concept.
I know people always bash on his artwork, especially in the Midnighter stuff. I like his artwork.
He's really talented. Like, he's got a very distinct style.
You didn't see the comments when Tristan would show off some of the artwork from there, it'd be like, "Oh, that's fugly." I'm like, oh, you know what?
It's one book style.
Yeah, and he's a great writer too. I mean, the fact that he was one of the guys who was, if he's the one who did that final disassembled arc for Thor.
Oh, okay.
And the Beta Ray Bill miniseries that took place right after that. The one where they tried to get Beta Ray Bill a human form, and he completely dropped it afterwards.
Oh, I thought the art style was meh.
All right.
That's fine. Dominic also has a question. You want
to answer that one? Since you're the one who kind of brought it
up. So Ayn Rand and interesting, Rose Wilder Lane, the daughter of Laura Ingalls Wilder, who was who wrote the Little House in the Big Woods series. They were two very influential members of the Libertarian Party in America. So that's kind of that's kind of Rand's connection to the philosophical history of libertarianism.
Mm-hmm. My brain hurts.
That just went right over my head, actually. But anyway, but with Fear State though, especially given the solicitation for the Detective Comics, the Aftermath issue, what do you think is going to cause Batman to become disillusioned?
I think so. Here's my thought, and it could be completely wrong, but you remember back in The Cowardly Lot when Batman first meets Miracle Molly.
Yep.
Molly offers him a chance to erase his trauma. I think that Batman was intrigued by that, and I think he wants to travel the world to sort of give him a chance away from all the things that remind him of his trauma, to see if he can heal, I think he's just going to be really tired and hurt, and I think he wants to refresh.
It's basically going to be like the 1 year later stuff, but we're actually going to follow that as opposed to skipping to after it.
Right, sort of like that, except not Morrison.
Okay, ha, dude.
I don't like Morrison.
You cannot deny that was a good Batman run.
I did not like that run except for the first arc of Batman Incorporated, which I like a lot.
What, you did not like that stuff when it was just Batman? I'm talking about before R.I.P. I'm talking like the Black Glove or the Batman of the
Batman and Son, I think, is a very good idea, but it's what he does to Talia's character, and I understand it was an accident, but no one fixed it.
And so Tomasi has, at least.
Yeah, but then they unfixed again.
Kind of, sort of. Now they don't know what to do with her.
Right.
Bendis, unfortunately, has his hands on her.
So Batman and Son, good ideas, but they were very uneven in execution for Batman and Son. The Black Glove is a really interesting idea, but it was too short. I don't think the clues or the characters were developed as much as they needed to be to really hit. And I understand all the artistry and the symbolism and stuff, but I want to get involved in the lives of the characters.
Right.
And I don't think that Morrison was able to do that. He was more interested in the horror and the evil. Then we get to the RIP stuff, and that's just come on, stop blaming everything on drugs and figure out an actual ending.
What about the Batman of the Nations? That was a two-parter.
So that was clearly setting up Batman Inc., and I like the idea of that.
Mm-hmm.
But I really like when he gets to that stuff, because the Batman Inc. is literally one of the best.
That's why I'm so glad Williamson is tapping into it again.
Yeah, me too. I'm actually really excited about that.
Now,
but the thing about Morrison is I don't like the drugs thing, I don't like the psychedelic thing, and I don't like Morrison's dialogue. Morrison's dialogue is always hyper exposition. It has almost no personality.
What about Resurrection of Ra's al Ghul? Now, granted, that was a crossover with the other
books.
Well,
that's Paul Dini as much as it is Grant Morrison.
Right, but I think the explanation to how was Morrison's.
Sure. I mean, it's not bad. I
know, because especially after Rucka made it very clear, no coming back, and they had to be, somehow through the guy that once pretended to be Ra's was able to barely hold on, but the body was dying, and then they had to put it into his son.
I think that so much of what Morrison did with Raish and Talia has potential, but what Morrison did with it in the run wasn't as interesting as the potential was there. Especially with Talia. I really think that Morrison did very poorly with Talia, and if I were really mean, I'd say he has Bobby issues.
I will say this. I think that's the idea that she's been going through all of this trying to get him, but she's always still been a terror. You gotta always remember, she was never a good person. I mean, if it wasn't, except for when it came to Bruce. If Bruce was never in the picture, was her father, she was always agreeing with him. She never argued with him unless Bruce was in the room.
I have never been a Bruce Talia shipper.
I'm not saying I am either. I'm just saying
I find the dynamic compelling, especially in Detective Comics Annual #1 by O'Neill and Jansen. That's the best I think it's ever been. The problem with something like the Tales of the Demon, where they get married and they have the son that is later revealed to be Damien, blah blah blah.
Which, to be fair, Morrison had no idea about.
Yeah, because he didn't do research. Come on, Morrison.
Well, to be fair, that was never properly canonized. I don't think even the editors told him about it.
Oh, it was explicitly decanonized. Denny O'Neil made sure of it in Zero Hour.
So, yeah, I think that's the main reason why no one told him about it, because they didn't need to tell him.
But someone should have. Like, this is editorial's job. Don't make Talia a rapist. It's unnecessary.
Right, anyway. But you get what I'm saying, though, right? That Talia was never a good person.
No, Talia wasn't good, but she wasn't. So Morrison's Talia is not just bad. Morrison's Talia is completely deranged and ridiculously evil, like mustache twirling evil for no good reason.
Here's what I looked at it as. She held back so much of her evil, trying to to impress Bruce. Like, she would have given up if she wanted to. So when she finally was the last straw, she's like, this is the last chance. And Bruce probably thinking this is going to be she said this before, not realizing she meant it. That's when it finally was like, not only did they just unleash what was already there, it unleashed it with interest. Does that make sense?
I can see that. I just think that there's too much of
But then again, this is the same guy who disregarded all the characterization from Magneto during his new X-Men run.
Yes.
And then they had to do the whole Zorn thing and having that moment where in Claremont's Excalibur, where Magneto says, "Did you ever know me to do it?" Well, you do have Do you know me to do this? No. Not to do such senseless deaths, which told you right there that Morrison, he made it clear, like, the way he described, like, people think it's Sir Mr. Ian McKellen. No, he's just like, yeah, back during the Lee and Kirby days. If there was no other growth since then, it's the same thing with Mark Waid on Doctor Doom. If you ignore all the growth that John Byrne had given him, yeah, then that makes sense. But the big difference though is that Morrison was just ignorant. Waid was malicious. Like, he did not like that idea at all. Would you say that's a big difference?
I mean, I haven't read the Waid Fantastic Four stuff, so I don't know.
He basically, Waid had him kill a long-standing love interest, and then turning her skin into leather to give himself a magical upgrade.
He what?
Yeah.
That's just mustache twirling flat villain writing.
In his mind, that's how he always saw Doom. Doom was like the ultimate evil, and he would do anything, kill anyone to get a step on Richards.
I just don't think that's very interesting.
Me neither.
Oh, thank you, Dominic.
Yeah,
Yep, that is what an editor is supposed to do. And also, catch spelling errors.
Yep.
I remember I saw that on Twitter. I think who was it? Was it Gail Simone? I'm not gonna name names just because I don't want to get it wrong. But somebody was like, an editor's job is like shouldn't be focused so much on spelling errors and
What?
typos and stuff. And I'm
I
like,
don't think that was Gail.
well,
I don't think that's Gail.
so it was someone else. Dang, that
So
was
my
a
question
long
is,
time ago.
whose job is it to catch spelling errors then? Because someone should be doing it.
The computer word and was spelling and grammar check.
It doesn't always work,
Grammarly.
especially in comics.
I
where
know.
so many of the
I'm
words are made up.
joking. I'm joking. But now you mentioned that. Let's jump into from Fear State to a moment into we already know Williamson's taking over.
Mhm.
Now, unfortunately, the way that they're talking about things, it's being a bit vague, saying their 4-issue arc. Do you think when they're saying that they're talking about their first 4 issues, or they're only on for 4 issues?
Well, I think what's clear is that DC is vamping for time between now and the end of March. So we have Mariko Tamaki doing a 12-week.
Yeah.
12-week.
12 week. I thought it was 12 issues.
Well, it's a weekly, 12 issues.
Wait, they're
every
making
week.
Detective. I missed that part by it being
Yes,
weekly.
it's going to be weekly.
Oh
Which is going
shit!
to be insane.
And still at $4.99. Crap.
Oh my gosh, so expensive. So they're doing that, and that means it's going to line up exactly because Williamson's first issue is December. So December,
Right. And it's gonna be monthly.
and that ends in March. So they're going to try and build to something in April that will be the new Batman thing. I don't know if they're going to let Williamson try to become like Tynion, because Tynion originally just going to do 15 issues as fill-in, and he became the new guy. I don't know if they're going to let Williamson do that, or if
4 issues is not enough time compared to 15 issues.
Right. So I don't know. Williamson could just be doing literally a fill-in arc until the next team, or Williamson could be trying to get the job. He could be auditioning for the job.
But he has enough on his plate as it is, especially.
He has way too much he's doing right now. And he's doing a really good job. I'm just worried because if you do,
and at least he has a good co-writer. At least he has a good co-pilot.
Yeah.
What's the guy's name?
I don't want Robin to go down the tubes. I want that title to be good.
But do you think it's going to be Bendis?
I have no idea.
What about you, B? Do you honestly think it's going to be Bendis?
I want to say no.
You want to say no?
No, I want to say no because we don't know for sure, but I'm predicting no.
All right.
I feel like there's evidence both ways. I mean, there's evidence that Bendis is working on something, but he always is working on something.
Right.
There's also the fact that Bendis just pulled all his creator-owned from DC and gave it to Dark Horse.
Oh, yeah, but to be fair, though, that could also be the case of DC wasn't going to keep on backing him for those.
Possibly, but it's not the kind of thing that you want to see your Batman writer do.
True, but it's his own independent work. And again, if they weren't going to put the money down for it, I think, for all we know, that could have been negotiated for all we know.
Oh, I'm sure it was negotiated. I just think that DC... The exclusive war seems to be over, especially since Substack has basically shot that in the cut. But DC still really, really likes their Batman writer to be exclusive.
That's true. And Williamson is the only one that's still close to being exclusive, right? One of the few?
I've lost track of who's exclusive and who's not because almost everybody isn't anymore.
True. I do know it's not going to be Tomasi. It's definitely not. When I talked to him at a recent convention, definitely not.
Oh, why did you say that?
It's just the vibe I was getting. He was definitely not in the best mood when I was trying to talk about, when I was dancing around the bush about it.
So he's like not happy with DC right now?
It's more of a case where he's trying to bring stuff to them. They're not talking. And he did not like when I brought up about Arkham Knight being dead for that zombie thing.
Huh.
And he said he liked how she was handled in Future State. He liked that. But just killing her off screen just to make her a zombie? Or Task Force Z?
I say this as someone who thinks that the Arkham Knight arc of Detective Comics was really bad.
Really? I thought it was an interesting way of bringing in the character without having it be Jason.
I just think it's so bad because it makes no sense at all. Like, so this girl was born in Arkham Asylum with supervillains around her, and her mom was killed by a batarang.
Mm-hmm.
How old is this girl? Because Batman has not been operating for 20 years. Like, even in Rebirth,
I'll do a quick look.
like, it does not make any sense for this girl to have been born when Batman is fighting supervillains in Arkham, because that means she's like 10 to 15 at most.
That is true. That is true. Just give me a moment. I'm looking up Astrid Arkham.
Yeah.
Enter the AA name. All right. They say around 20 years old.
Batman hasn't been operating for 20 years.
Okay, that's fair. I think it depends on if you're going back to the original timeline, which seemed to imply at least around 20 years.
Yes, so Morrison's run very much implied that Batman had been functioning for 20 years.
Which Tomasi is a firm agreeer on. Remember, he was the editor back then when that was going on.
But it doesn't make sense because nothing else... There is no other writer who is allowed to do that.
True. Now, here's a different question. If Bendis did get the book, do you think it'd be as bad as his
Superman?
Superman?
I mean, I would expect that it would be very similar to, Batman Universe. And that wasn't the best, but it definitely wasn't bad. So I don't think it would be bad.
Yeah, but you know what the thing bothers me with that one? The White Lantern ring!
Oh,
he did not get the White Lantern ring at all.
I don't get the White Lantern ring, so I'm in the same boat.
For one, the Green Lantern O's would not have worked on it. Two,
that's true.
Two, they've already established who made the first ring, and it wasn't a woman, a female guardian.
But sexism.
It was the Phantom ring was the first ring.
But sexism.
No,
what's the White Lantern?
The White Lantern is life, which no Guardian created. That's the other thing. No Guardian created that ring.
But
it just exists?
No, yeah. It exists because you have the white light entity. The actual life entity of the white light.
Who has it right now? Does anybody?
No one currently.
Kyle is the only person in continuity who's earned it. There have been other people who wielded it, but he's the only one who earned it. And then Kyle lost it in Hal and Pals, Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps.
Yep, and went back to being his 90s outfit.
Right, he went back to being a regular Green Lantern at that point. But
no one else has utilized it since. But the ring obviously was also a very different White Lantern ring. But like I said, it was made clear the Phantom ring, which was introduced during Green Lanterns, was the original first ring. Created by a guy named Rami.
But you know that Bendis never reads anything, so.
And yet, that's the funny thing.
That's a joke. Bendis does read
That's the weirdest thing about his Superman run. He acknowledges a lot of continuity, but not all the way.
Yeah, he kind of does.
For some reason, he brought back the idea that Lois was a merger of two Loises when she shouldn't have known that.
Yeah, baby.
And then don't get me, but then he'll disregard utter continuity. Like again, I've said this before. It makes zero sense for Lois to have a freaking brother.
She has a brother?
Oh, just recently revealed. Yeah, and Bianca, you want to know why that's the dumbest idea of all? Do you know an important portion about Lois's, at least post-crisis, backstory?
I know nothing. Please tell me.
She and her sister, Lucy, were the two daughters of a military man who wanted sons and never got them. So he raised Lois like the son he never had. To the point where, leading right up to her marriage to Clark, that's where it finally came to a head, and she told him, "You're not walking me down the aisle." He got pissed off, and then she said, "You wanted me to be the son you never had? Well, congratulations!" In other words, you did not earn the right because you were not a daughter's father.
Mm-hmm.
So he did not have the right to walk her down.
That's fantastic. I love that.
But if he's had a son that he's known and trained for, and the guy's an adult and everything, that throws everything. There's no way in hell that Sam would have acted the way he did with Lois if he had a secret son off to the side.
Yeah, that makes no sense. He would have just focused on the sons and then instead
and
of
kept it secret. Now, granted, Lois and Lucy might felt something was off, but they probably would have thought, oh, he might have given up. It wouldn't have come to as far as it did with the wedding.
That's not good.
Yeah. You see what I mean? At least with Nightwing getting a half sister, Tom Taylor went out of his way to make sure it could fit, and it would fit with the characterizations, right, Ian?
Well, and it also is set up in such a way that literally no one could have known. Like, it's not the kind of thing. It's not the kind of thing where you imply a whole new history. It's just a thing that believably happened, but did not affect anything else, and doesn't mean people were lying to you all this time.
Exactly. Big difference.
I am really not a fan of it. Like, I don't like the fact that Nightwing has a sister, but it is the best way you could have done it, even though I don't think you should have done it.
Exactly. It's one of those cases where it shouldn't have been done, but the way it was done was well played.
Yes.
It's so weird every time when they do this thing like, oh, they have a sibling now, and me as a sibling, I'm like, oh, yay, sibling dynamics, I love it. But then I'm like...
But it's a half-sibling dynamic in this case, though.
It's still a sibling.
But he has, like, 3 brothers, 2 sisters, a girlfriend, a father. Like, he doesn't need more sibling dynamics to make him
baggage,
interesting.
you mean.
Right. Now, hey, on a different note, Spencer Spider-Man run, one more issue coming up. Given everything, the big reveal and how they undid Sin's past.
That is hilarious. Here's
the big question, though. He undid Sin's past, but here's the big question. Do you think that's always undo, and that he overshowed his hand and he's not going to undo, at least get back the marriage memories of One More Day? Or do you think that's still going to be his hat trick?
I feel like...
No, again, I'm not saying they're undoing the marriage. It's bringing back the marriage.
They're not going to do that.
I think they're going to bring back the memories.
I think so too, because he's been playing with Mephisto the whole time, and you do not undo the second most hated modern Spider-Man event in your second to last issue, and then do nothing in the last issue. Come on,
yeah,
he has to be doing something with it.
I know, and really, how else are you going to restore Peter's soul?
Right. That little piece of Peter's soul.
And that's what you've been building up to. And they keep on playing off about how Mysterio kept on pretty much hammering it in, saying there's stuff you know that no one else knows. And of course, people from hell would know the truth because hell is separate from most realities. So of course, they're going to know what actually should have happened.
Plus, Mephisto's the boss there, so he'd be gloating about it.
Now, here's the other big question. With Kindred, is that really Harry? Or is the Harry we've been following really real Harry?
Oh my goodness, I have no idea. Like, I have no.
Not anymore, do you?
It's like, maybe.
I can't tell either for the life of me. I can't.
I just honestly, I do wish that he'd gotten these reveals out so we could really explore it a bit more. Because like, these are things that I think could have been done in a full arc, but instead, because he's running out of time, he's just like, bam, 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 bam.
Now, also, do you think Betty's going to have her kid by the end, or do you think he's going to let the next people do it? Because she wasn't that far along. She was far along, but not that far along.
I mean, I feel like the next people are basically just ignoring what Spencer's doing, so I don't know if it'll matter.
The fact he brought back Ned as well, that's the other thing. He brought back Ned! In a way that actually makes sense.
Now, okay, so that's different than Flash. Flash is still dead, right?
No, Flash came back at the end of the King in Black.
Oh, I didn't read any King in Black, so that's why.
Yeah, he came back, and basically Eddie brought him Flash back, and he's been in Extreme Carnage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So is Cates writing Venom, or is he done with Venom?
Cates is done with Venom. You're going to have Al Ewing and Ram V. But turned out Ram V said it on Tristan's stream interview he had, which was that you're going to have Al Ewing writing Venom and in space, and Ram B is going to be writing. Oh, that's Al doing that, and Ram's going to be writing Venom with. Wait, B, you rewatched it. Which did he say he was doing?
Which one, Ram V?
Yeah, Ram B. Which one did he say he was doing? Was he doing Eddie's son or Eddie himself? Because either way, both writers are handling two different parts of the story.
Eddie's son. I was just on Midtown Comics and I was looking up Venom, and it was about Eddie's son.
So Ram B is doing Eddie's son, and Al Ewing is doing Eddie himself.
Yes.
And they're basically going to be two separate stories in one issue.
I read the description. I'm honestly very excited for it. I wonder.
So that's clever. I think that's clever. Wouldn't you say?
And how often is it shipping? Is it a monthly book or
month? I'm pretty sure monthly.
Okay.
But again, that is an interesting premise.
Oh,
I wanted to say DC has so much quote unquote blood on its hands for making serious financial decisions that have shaped comics, and it really annoys me because DC brought back double shipping, and then Marvel followed suit.
Then Diamond, they're leaving Diamond.
Yes, well, I think that was a good move. So I think double shipping was a bad move. I think leaving Diamond was a good move. And I think that DC broke the variant cover truce. So it used to be that DC was trying to just do alternate covers. So it was open to order. But then, like about 3 years ago, they started really going all in on store exclusive and incentive variants. And store exclusive and incentive variants are really bad.
Well, depending on the store exclusives. You know what? Still, it's always been one of my
store exclusives are fine, but
can I tell you one of my favorite store exclusives? Can I tell you one of my favorites?
Sure.
The Godzilla Kingdom of the Monsters, where he's stepping on your comic store, because my store was one of those stepped on. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh.
Yeah, Godzilla Kingdom of Monsters, where he's stepping on your comic stores. Hold on, I'm looking that up.
There it is. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, each one they actually changed it depending on the store, and my store was one of those.
Very nice. Did you get a copy?
Yep. And another one I liked was when My Little Pony did their first issue, because I got the one that was my store was able to get exclusively the one that was Katie Cook with Derpy and Doctor Who, the Hubs. Oh, by the way, you heard the news, right?
Which news?
About Doctor Who?
Oh, yes.
Russell T. Davies is coming back. Do you think he'll save it, or do you think, unfortunately, he's going to stick too much to what Chibnall set up?
I mean, I don't like Doctor Who.
Oh, I thought you did. I thought you did.
So here's how much I don't like Doctor Who. I deliberately spell it Dr. Period.
Okay, what about you, B? What about you, B? Are you a Doctor Who fan?
I saw the first season and I didn't finish it.
Okay, never mind that. Never mind.
You are among heathens, Robert. You have not converted us.
I'm not going to convert you to you guys. But all right then. I can just go pull some from here.
Yes.
What do you think about the fact that a lot of their solicitation lately have been skipping it into other months?
So I don't know why they did that for December.
They did. They've been doing that not just December. They did it last month. They did it the month before as well. They've been doing it the past 2 months. It's just it's been more. It was like only a few issues, but it seems it's gotten more egregious lately.
I'm pretty sure they do it for December going into January because a lot of stores take off the 2 weeks, the Christmas and New Year's. And so they want the stores to be able to order for the first 2 weeks of January, even though they might be closed. So they've done that. I've noticed that for many years. They've done the first 2 weeks of January in the December solicits. Hold on a sec. I actually clipped my solicits.
All right. Hey, you looking forward to the solicits, B?
Yes.
So this is my stack of clips right here.
Oh, can I tell you one thing that really got me excited? Absolute Doomsday Clock. You know why?
Why?
Well, not just because of Jeff Johns, but hold on, I'll be right back.
Have you read Solicits, B?
Only a little. The ones that came out, right?
Yeah.
Not yet.
So please tell me you at least heard about this.
Oh, hell yes!
I'm super excited for
It's like about time!
Yes, about freaking time.
And I gotta say this.
It's out now, right?
No, it's coming out in December.
Okay, Ian, since you're here, where would you stand all these people complaining about legacies and saying how Batgirl and Cassandra Cain and Stephanie Brown should never have been Batgirl. They should have been Orphan or whatever from their own individual characters from the beginning. Never should they have ever begun another mantle.
I have one thing to say.
I knew you would. B, you know why I'm asking that, right?
Of course I do.
A certain YouTuber out there has gotten so many people riled up and thinking like, she should, like, oh, look at Cassandra as Orphan. She's perfectly fine. She doesn't need to be Batgirl. Most people hate her taking her father's name as Orphan. The man who abused her growing up. Why would she honor his memory by taking his name?
That's like Nightwing taking on the mantle of Batman when he doesn't like it.
No, but those times
he's a great Batman.
But he's done those on times when no one else could have.
Of course.
Oh, okay. I know what you're grabbing.
So, is a man who has all of the original trades of Stephanie Brown's Batgirl.
I have the individual issues.
Is he going to agree with someone who thinks that Stephanie should not be Batgirl? I don't think so.
Exactly. That's the thing. Sometimes you need someone else to take the mantle. And let's be honest, most people don't care for Babs as Batgirl. They prefer her as Oracle.
I'm one of them.
I mean, I am too, but I think that we're going to have a lot of fights about it in the next 6 months.
But anyway,
I've been watching all of the threads, and every thread has like two very angry Batgirl fans who are like, Barbara's the real Batgirl. Go away, other fake Batgirls.
But anyway, I was say, here's the one I'm excited for Absolute Doomsday. Here.
Yeah. Oh, so you want it to match.
Exactly.
I see. Wait, but did they do Absolute before Watchmen?
No. They did an omnibus. They did an omnibus. They did an omnibus.
Because
to be fair, though, this is 12 issues. That would have been 6 issues. Doing one big omnibus with all of them together makes more sense than an Absolute edition, which that would be more prohibitive.
But come on, Darwin Cook's Minutemen was so good.
Oh, it was, but I say the omnibus are usually a little bit larger than normal size.
Okay. But, I mean, the thing is, I prefer Before Watchmen to almost any other Watchmen stuff. So, and I haven't
I like Before Watchmen. I like Before Watchmen.
Well, I haven't read any of the Azzarello stuff, but I like the JMS stuff, and I like the Darwin Cook stuff a lot.
Right. And Amanda Connor.
Yeah. But, I mean, Darwin Cook was doing part of the writing on the Amanda Connor stuff, too.
But anyway, but still, though. Why? Okay, but because the fact that these people keep on arguing this point, and they act like they know better, and if you're there, you want to see all these white people washed away. And it's like, you call them out saying, funny how you don't seem to have an issue when someone's cis white.
This lady right here is white.
Oh, yeah, but see, like with Stephanie, though, well, that's the exception.
Is Ben Reilly the exception?
Ben Reilly.
Also, look at this cover for Detective Comics. That is so pretty.
Oh, I guess. Who do you think that is in the back? Because Tristan was having a fit trying to figure that out.
I don't know. Is it like Renee Montoya, maybe?
No, I can't. It looks like a guy, so that's why.
I thought it was Jason Todd, but then I.
Oh no! Wait, it can't be a guy. That's short. That's long hair. That's long hair.
It's long. It has long hair. I could have sworn it was short hair.
No.
Oh, maybe it's Dr.
No, look.
Ware.
See, look at the hair. Look at the hair.
Maybe it's this Dr. Ware character.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I gotta point out to Tristan next time I see her. I talk to her. Email her.
Anyway, that's the weekly event. That's going to be crazy.
Yep. Oh, Bendis going back to his Legion. Can we please just ignore that ever existed?
I mean, I am already ignoring everything. I don't know why you guys can't just not read it.
Oh, I'm excited for this.
Oh, yes. World of Krypton.
Venditti.
Art. Look at. Oh,
Yep.
Venditti. Oh, and it's. I read the original World of Krypton series back when the Krypton. That was fun. I hope that Venditti does more along those lines and like really
I say
fleshes
keep
out
him on
those characters.
Superman. Keep him on Superman.
Yes.
Especially after that's okay. I gotta ask, where do you stand on the second issue of Batman '89? Do you think it went right off the rails?
Not really. I mean,
Some people feel like it's Sam Hamm embracing the whole, oh, Batman throws all the money, crime will go away.
I mean, it's the second issue. You know that can't actually be the solution.
Yeah, but it's so obviously not what he would have written back then.
That credit card doesn't leave the cave without it.
Wrong version. Wrong. Well, sort of.
But it's a good reference.
I had to use it. We were talking about money.
That's true.
Okay, what about this? Catwoman Lonely City. You guys excited?
Oh, yes.
I think it looks cool.
I do. Cliff Chang. Cliff Chang.
Yeah. The art looks so good.
Oh, what about that? What about the Tom Taylor stuff?
Well, it's Tom Taylor, so you know what I'm going to say.
Right. But it's also alternate universe stuff, and you've always known that, sometimes he'll force his politics in, other times he might not.
My problem with Tom Taylor is not just his politics, it's also that he has one trick. Kill people off. That's his one trick.
True. So
here's something that a lot of people are not talking about, but I think this looks like fun.
That should not be in the young adults grabbing out. That should be a black label.
I don't think so. It's a younger target, and
true. But I've heard some people say that should be a black label.
I think it can work as a young adult and it can work as a black label, but it also depends on how serious or how young adult it's gonna be.
I want it to be a companion to Black Canary Ignite, because Black Canary Ignite moved Black Canary's origin back to high school. And so this also moves Green Arrow back to high school, and I would like them to sort of cross over. I know it's not going to happen, but I want them to. Because I love Black Canary Ignite so much. It's such a good little book.
What do you think about Dennis Culver taking full on with Future State Gotham?
I'm a little nervous, because I thought that his issue of Future State by himself wasn't bad, but part of it is that we're losing the artist, and I prefer that artist to the guy who's doing.
Wait, who's the current artist?
I think his name is Yanis Milo Yanis.
Yeah, he's back in 9. He's back on 9.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, according to that, he's back on 9, so it just must be a fill-in.
All right.
Is Batman versus Bigsby also one of the solicitations?
Oh yeah.
That's the one I'm very hopeful for. It's on my pull list.
Hold on, let me find it. Yep.
Yes.
Oh, I am also going to be pulling. I'm also going to be pulling Batman versus Big B. Because I got into Fables early this year, and it's fantastic. And I have actually had a chance to read the first issue, and it's very fun.
Yep. But I know they're going to be talking about it tomorrow on his stream. Wes throwing a bit of a conniption fit about Superman being infected, becoming a vampire. We don't know.
He's been throwing a conniption fit about like everything right now.
No kidding. Probably if he ever watches this, he's probably not going to be on the show. But yeah, I'm just like, 1, it's a variant cover. 2, we don't know how their vampirism works. It might be because I do know. At least one issue when a vampire bit Superman, the solar energy in his blood killed the vampire right then and there.
Hasn't he also been a zombie?
That's the thing. You had the virus from deceased affect him. So who knows how it's going to work here. If it's magical, if it ends up being more magic-based, then yeah, I think it's going to affect him.
Yeah. I need more Vixen versus Superman.
Vixen?
Yes, since her totem is magic.
I don't think it works that way.
So this is Black Canary Ignite for people, because people need to read this book.
So the end of Infinite. Have you caught up with Infinite Frontier?
I think so. I think I read the end.
Issue 6. So it tying into Multiversity.
See,
with the Gentry and Multiverse.
I've only read 2 issues of Multiversity, so I have no idea what that means.
It was the last issue of the main Multiversity thing.
No. So okay, I'll let you guess. Which 2 issues of Multiversity do you think I've read?
The Watchmen one.
Yep, of course.
Frank Whiteley's artwork and all that, and
I actually
the guidebook.
No, I read the issue called The Just, where you have Damien.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't care for that one.
I didn't either.
Well, I'm trying to find where my copy of Multiversity is. It's one of my favorites. I love that whole mini. Oh, where is it? Come on. I know I have it somewhere. Yeah, keep talking, guys, while I'm looking.
Okay, so other things I'm excited about from solicits. We have Deep Target, the Aquaman Green Arrow crossover.
Oh, yep.
I'm very excited about that.
What are you, B? Are you excited?
I feel like I should get it because I'm not that much interested in Aquaman or Hawkman, but I like the idea of that team up. I don't like them because I hate them or anything. I just don't read on them because I'm still very new. So
that's understandable. That's understandable.
I'm still trying to understand those characters. I mean, because of the movie. Oh my gosh, it was a movie that came out literally this year in February. The Justice Society movie, the animated one, World War II.
Which was all right. I wasn't a huge fan on it.
I loved it. Me and my family loved it. I watched it twice. So I liked the way they did Aquaman because they made him on par with Wonder Woman, at least.
Well, he was always on par with Wonder Woman.
But they don't do that ever.
Well, yeah, that's okay. I will give you that one.
Because I was on the hate train for Superman and Aquaman because people who would rather not comic fans or are comic fans listen, trust me, they both suck, blah blah blah.
Oh God!
And I would go, okay, just because
you took their word for it.
Yeah, and then when I started getting into comics and Rebirth, I started learning more, and I'm like, oh, these people are pretty cool. Why did you tell me they suck?
Because they had their own personal biases or haven't kept up with the characters.
Which I find very weird because Aquaman from the Justice League Unlimited cartoon was my first experience of Aquaman, and he wasn't boring.
Wait. Which version?
Justice League Unlimited cartoon.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was, when he was the badass, not the outrageous. From Brave and the Bold.
I love the Brave and the Bold too. I loved him there.
I don't hate that version either. I'm just making fun, with the outrageous.
So I keep forgetting the solicits that always come out. I need the website so I can occasionally look at it because my memory is so bad. So what was the next on the solicits?
Oh, yep. Yeah, keep going. Keep talking. Sorry, I'm still here.
Superman 78, number 5.
Can't wait for that. Vendetti's been killing it.
I actually have committed to getting the variants because I actually really love all the variants they're doing.
Nice.
I like the variants for the Batgirls that I can't choose.
I know. I'm worried I'm going to have to buy more than one. Superman versus Lobo. So this was really surprised me. I actually really enjoyed this one.
I was torn on that first issue. The Superman versus Lobo, it tore me because that tore me very, very much because it's just like, really? It's Tim Seeley putting his politics in.
I thought it was actually pretty nuanced. Yes, there were politics, but I thought that it wasn't one-sided.
It's better than... Oh, duh. Okay, I'm an idiot. It was right in my nose the whole time where it was at.
That's where it always is. Under your nose.
The last place you look.
Well, it's because this is what threw me off.
Ah.
The way, the barcode is. And I had it upside down. Okay, but here's what I was talking about. Because at the end, you saw, at the end of it for Frontier, you saw they were in what was known as Multiverse 2, correct?
No, remember, I only read those 2 issues.
No. I said the end of Infinite Frontier.
Oh, okay.
That's where Barry ended up. And you have Pariah there. Well, it turns out, though, that was set up in Multiversity. Because the creatures they were dealing with, know that the Gentry were there consuming Earth 7 right here, this thing, the Empty Hand. And basically they're consuming it because they're from the previous multiverse, which they call Multiverse 2. So given how the multiverse has been reborn again, and I gotta say, that's one thing I'm really liking about Infinite Frontiers now, all of the public are made aware of the multiverse. They're making it very clear everyone knows now. Or everyone's at least aware of it now.
Everybody knows that the game is lifted.
What is that from?
It's the Justice League cover of Everybody Knows.
The Justice League.
The Joss Whedon cut of the Justice League.
Oh! All right. So, anyway, though, but still, with what Williamson is doing, what do you think about this whole the abyss and everything?
I mean, I've never been super big on this kind of thing. I'm reading it because I'm curious, and Williamson's earned enough loyalty from me.
Oh yeah.
But quite honestly, I don't have a connection to all this multiversity stuff. It's not my thing. Right.
Oh, what do you think about the Flash dealing with Gemworld and Eclipso again?
I think that Jeremy Adams has earned my loyalty, at least for a while.
Yes, he had. Better than I say this. Give him more work. Give him Titan Academy away from Tim Sheridan.
Actually, Tim Sheridan has somewhat impressed me with
Shazam.
I thought it was going to.
Oh, the Neuron issue got me good, but I was hesitant with the first two. The stuff with Neuron's good. I'm wanting to see how they wrap it up.
Yeah.
Tim Sheridan wrote most of the unkindness or whatever stuff, except for the ending which Jeremy Adams wrote. Remember, Jeremy Adams wrote the Black Adam stuff, which wrapped all that up.
Ah.
You remember that, right? From the near the end of it was from one of the, I think it was Future State Wonder Woman.
Oh.
It was the one that was DC 1 million and everything. And apparently he was the guy, Black Adam got together.
So near the end of Future State, I got really confused, and I think I skipped a bunch of times.
It was one of the backup stories. It was one of the backup stories of it.
So I don't think I read that one.
Okay, well, during that, when we found out that Black Adam got together was Wonder Woman 1 million. And she was pregnant with his child.
Ew.
Everybody likes pregnant with child.
But then, by the end of it all, he takes the Rock of Eternity and sends it back in time into hell.
Ah.
But he's stuck there. So I can't tell if the Black Adam we're seeing here is the future Black Adam or the past Black Adam somehow de-aged. But either way, though, I'm saying I'm interested, but his actual Teen Titans Academy itself has been losing me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of Teen Titans in general, and what Sheridan did with it was just too
different.
It's not different. It's okay. For one thing, I do not care about Red X. I do not care at all.
Me neither.
And everything's about Red X. So that's a problem. Also, it's way too much. Ooh, look, I'm making a clever and political joke, and it's not really funny. But if you agree with me, it's great.
You know what the new characters are reminding me of? Near the end and during the later half of the original Devin Grayson Titans run.
Oh, dear.
When you brought in the DEO kids.
Oh, boy.
The ones where, you had the editor, Andy Helfer, thought, ooh, who cares about the Titans? It should be these new kids. And no one liked them at all.
See, it could have been like Avengers Academy, where you had a bunch of new kids and
had good personality.
People fell in love with them. But the new kids just don't seem to get the focus that you need to fall in love with them in Teen Titans Academy.
Yeah, they don't. They're jumping all over the map. They're making some big reveals that are just done so flat.
Okay, so here's the next one I'm interested in.
Oh, Catwoman. What do you think
about Ram? Issue.
What do you think about Ram V leaving?
I'm sad because I think...
But understand, he has a good excuse, though.
He does. And it's not that he got fired. No. He said that he just wants to focus on a different part of the project, and it's been...
And he wants to raise his son. He wants to raise his son.
Right. So that's all good. I'm just sad because Catwoman... I hated the Joelle Jones run of Catwoman, and so this was just a breath of fresh air.
Oh, so it sounds like that was heresy to someone.
Tell me why I'm wrong, B.
It's fine. It's your opinion.
No, it's objective fact. That is a joke.
I actually didn't read it. I just really like the art, so I want to get the Catwoman.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't disagree.
Wait, 38 is his last issue? I thought he had a few more.
No, that's his last issue.
So he's wrapping up the stuff with Cheshire Cat in one issue.
I think he's getting a urban legend story to wrap that up.
All right.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I'm glad they expanded Leanne so she could finally be on her own without having to,
be a victim all the time.
Be a victim or need a babysitter.
Yeah.
Because she stayed her age how long?
74 years.
No. That'd be Franklin Richards. I'm kidding.
Okay, so I'm very excited about this series.
Did you print those all off? Because I got mine actually.
I cut them out.
Why? Why cut them out? Why not just simply get the staples out and then...
Because I wanted to.
You're weird.
I am. I'm glad you finally noticed.
Oh, can I tell you one Absolute Edition I feel is a waste because they're missing a lot of stuff in it?
What?
You know why? It doesn't have any of the Dark Knights! Their one-shots are not in here. It's just the main mini, Lost, and then Dark Knights Rise in the Wild Hunt. Not the Dark Knights one-shots.
I realized when that came out of how much I wasted my time. Like there was when at first the Dark Metals stuff came out, like you had the tie-ins, you had the Dark Days, then you had the one-shot of all of them. I couldn't have been able to get everything because of the lack of funds I had, and I just
understandable.
I looked at my collection just to look at it, and I realized that it's freaking incomplete, and now I have to check to see like if anything is out of stock now and how hard it's gonna get.
I understand.
So what I'm about to say.
Yeah.
If Scott Snyder ever watches this, he's never going to talk to me again. But that's okay because I don't like Scott Snyder.
I'm going to meet him. I'm going to meet him at Motor City soon.
I know, and I think my relationship with Scott Snyder as a person is very complicated. But
like your one with Mark Millar.
Oh, that's not complicated at all. I hate him and he's blocked me, and I'm proud of it.
It's a love-hate relationship.
I love his work, dude. What's wrong with you?
Trouble?
Okay. I'll give you Trouble, but I think he's gotten better ever since Man of Steel.
I know he can do good, but like Trouble is just vile.
Ever since Man of Steel shook him out of his funk, his getting darker and darker.
And darker.
Was Trouble his idea? Was he assigned to do it?
Whether or not he was assigned to do it, he was the one who made it so much about cheating and perversion and just nasty.
No, I wouldn't go that far. But okay, do you know what the twist was of Trouble, B?
Well, it's irrelevant. I don't care if it's.
Can I tell? Mind if I tell her though?
Go for it.
Turns out Aunt May is Peter's biological mom.
Get the heck out of here!
And she had an affair with his dad, and then Mary, that would be Peter's mother, went to her and said, "I'll claim it's my kid."
It was stupid as heck.
I
and
hate
also
life.
just vile. It was vile.
Yeah. What? The only thing good about was the artwork, and it was the Dodsons.
Yeah, the art was fine, but like the characters were just viciously gross and disgusting, and I hate it.
Is that retcon too?
Well, technically, they tried to say it was the Ultimate Universe.
So it's never been mainstream continuity, thank goodness. But why do you own that, man? Why? Why do you own that?
Linkara signed it. That's why.
Oh my gosh.
Sell it for $1,000.
And you know how much I got it for?
Free?
$5? $2.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so here's what I think will make people who like metal sick.
And the other reason why? The artwork. That's it. The artwork.
So guess how much of Dark Knight's Metal I own?
74.
No, I actually own 2 issues. I own the Batman Who Laughs one shot, and I own the first issue of the first series. And I also own Last Stories of the DC Universe because that's
Death Metal. That's not regular metal.
But that was a really good issue. But I own those because they were free, and I got the first issue of Death Metal signed by Snyder, Capullo, and Miki. No, was it Miki? No, it's Glapian.
Mickey. No,
it was Glapian. I'm pretty sure it was Glapian.
Yep. No, I hear you. No, yeah, you're right.
So I own that because they were giving that away at the con that I met Snyder at. And what makes me sick is I was too stupid to buy a copy of Black Mirror and get it signed because I dislike Snyder's writing. I dislike what Snyder has done with his life. But Black Mirror is the second best Batman comic ever written. And
What's
I
number
love
one?
it with all my heart.
Oh, I was thinking about the TV show. So I'm guessing Black Mirror is a recommend.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Thank y'all.
This is number 1.
Year 1, of course. Could you be any more cliche?
No. And this is number 2.
Yep, I will agree with that. And the thing though, that's not even Bruce, it's Dick.
But it's amazingly excellent and awesome.
Now, here's the other thing. Would you still get his, if he does that Dick Grayson history book he's been talking about, would you get that?
I will certainly check it out.
Because you'd be wondering if it'd be the same writing again, right?
Yes. That's exactly what I'd be hoping.
All right.
So, I'm still mad at myself for having an issue of Dark Knight's Metal and not Black Mirror signed. I'm just so mad at myself for that.
Well, I'll be seeing Greg Capullo as well at the convention.
I actually have more signed by Capullo. Yeah?
What? What was that?
Here for Ian.
What?
Repeat. We're kind of lost each other. What were you saying, B?
Oh, you're also seeing Liam Sharp. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, Motor City. Yeah,
I'm so jealous. Liam Sharp is so cool. I would have him sign my Batman, Catwoman, and my Wonder Woman stuff.
I'm really interested in the new novel he's working on.
Oh yeah, what is it called?
Shoot, Stone hangs something. It's
okay.
He likes mythology, which is why he's Batman,
especially like Irish mythology.
Yeah, so it's gonna be based on that, and I've been looking at the colors he's been doing, and it's just so beautiful. I'm like, I'm getting it. If it's $70, I'll still get it.
He is a phenomenal artist, and I'm so glad that he's making it.
He likes my tweet. It makes me happy.
Yeah.
Yep. Give me a moment.
So that's all the DC titles that I actually clipped.
All right. Well, let me show you who's coming to Motor City. Andy Price, Ben Templesmith, Benjamin Percy, Dan Jurgens, Donnie Cates, Frank Thierry, Greg Capullo, J.K. Woodward, Jim Calafiore, Jim Starlin, Katie Cook, Liam Sharp, Lee Weeks, Scott Snyder, and representatives from the Kubert School. And that's just for the comic guests. For the celebrities.
please tell me you're getting something signed by Lee Weeks.
Yes.
Lee Weeks he's amazing. He's one of the best artists, and he's such a nice, awesome dude.
Yep. Right here are some of the celebrities.
But what are you going to get signed by him?
Probably one of the issues that have no, I already had him signed. Actually, no, I've had him sign a couple of my books already. Last time I've seen him.
So, but you have to plan this out because usually you can only get 2 or 3.
I know. But anyway, I better show you this though. You have Breckenmeyer, Catherine Tate, David Kushner, David Yost from Power Rangers, Elijah Wood, Ice-T, Jim Cummings, Jodie Benson, John Barrowman, Maurice LaMarche, Lucy Christian, Meatloaf, Mario Lopez.
Lucy Christian?
Yep. Michael Rosenbaum, Ming Na Wen, Mike Coulter, Nolan Norris, Tom Welling. The moment Tom was there, you knew Michael wasn't going to be that far behind. You knew. In fact, believe it or not, he came on. He got brought on. When Tom Welling came to a convention a couple years ago to Motor City, and from what I understood, Michael jumped on a plane to come for one day for the convention just to be with his buddy.
So sweet.
That's how great bros those two are.
How much for his signature?
Oh, hold on. Let me go check.
But I still want to know what you're getting signed by Lee Weeks.
I will let you know when I figure it out, dude. I still got a couple.
His forehead.
No.
The back of his forehead, then.
I might try to get an actual commission.
Ooh.
If they do it.
You could get Black and White #5. You could get Batman Annual #2.
There's a lot of stuff I could get, dude. There's a lot of stuff.
But you must make the choice.
Okay, for Michael Rosenbaum, his autographs are $60.
That's
Same with
not
Tom
too
Welling.
bad.
Same with Tom Welling.
I actually just listened to one of his podcasts with James Marsters last night.
Ah. But so I just typed it to a friend of mine. My friend Ingrid, the one who's been doing those Godzilla retrospectives with me. She's happy because who's one of our favorite Godzilla characters that we feel gets no love.
Is it a monster or a character?
Yeah, a monster.
Ah.
Anguirus. Anguirus was the very first monster that Godzilla ever fought. And yet afterwards, he just kept getting no respect, no love. Even though he was there, he was loyal. And then what happened? He never appeared in the Heisei. He only appeared in Final Wars. And yet Rodan, who is barely ever there, he's just there flopping his rings around it for the most part. Or he's a backstabber, among other things. He gets all the credit at being Godzilla's best bro, when Anguirus has had more appearances than him. At least in the Showa era. Ah. Oh, speaking of which, you know about the creator Evan Dorkin?
Sounds familiar.
He's the one who did the he's probably one of his best known works is the Bill and Ted comic back at Marvel.
Oh, okay. He
also did the prequel comic to the third movie, the one that bridged the two, Bogus Journey and Face the Music.
Right.
Yeah, he's apparently stepping away from mainstream comics.
He was mainstream?
Or doing regular comic work in general.
He was doing regular work?
Apparently.
I mean, what else has he done?
I don't know.
What exactly is he stepping away from is my question.
I don't know. Oh.
Because I too could step away from doing regular mainstream comics.
I know another book I've been reading through.
Oh no! Why?
Because Tristan got recommended to it by it was either Aaron LaPresti or J.H. Williams, one of the two. So I figured
bad. It is so
really.
Bad.
It is. Yes. Then why would they recommend it?
Because they are wrong.
There is a J.H. Williams or Aaron LaPresti, one of the two, whichever one it was, is wrong.
Well, okay, I will grant that artistically, like what Brian Hitch does, is really good. But
and come on, Ellis had brought out the best in Hitch. You can't deny that.
What Ellis did in that book was just be a British person criticizing America, and I'm just not interested in that.
Well, how would you compare it to this?
I mean, I gave up with that after it.
I'll tell you this: it didn't need to be. Seance. It had nothing to do about Rorschach at all. Zippo.
Rorschach is a state of mind, Robert.
Well, to be fair, you want to know what the whole point of the book was? The brainwash of the detective into picking up where Rorschach left off.
Rorschach is in all of us.
In our mind's eye.
In our heart.
In our squids.
In our squids.
No, I gave up on Rorschach. I love the art by Jorge Fornes. It's amazing, but the book itself just lost me completely. Like, what? Why is Frank Miller in this comic? Why?
Maybe Tom hates him?
No, Tom loves Frank Miller, but what he did with him was really weird.
That's
because
true.
It's Frank Miller.
Random comic. You know what else I've been looking through? Okay, you're aware of what a book that made Lobo, putting Lobo on the map, right? The paramilitary Christmas special.
Who? What?
Lobo.
I've not heard of this.
Lobo.
No, I know who Lobo is because I bought a Superman comic about it.
Yeah, the one where Lobo was tasked by the Easter Bunny to kill Santa.
It's always the Easter Bunny.
Yeah, the Easter Bunny felt that Lobo and Santa was getting too big for his own britches, and so he hires Lobo to go off Santa.
That makes no sense.
And he guns down through all the elves and everything.
So it's a Weird Al song in comic book form?
And there's Santa right there.
Easter is now 2 days.
Why he has a gorilla, I don't know, but I love it. Please, call me Chris or Sir. That's badass, let's be honest.
I guess. I still am just like, why was this a comic that someone felt the need to write?
That's what I think about the Golden Age.
It was Keith Giffen and Alan Grant.
Okay.
With artwork by Simon Bisley. Does that answer your question?
More or less, I guess.
And hey.
Oh.
But here's the other thing. But now they had 2 sequels many years later.
Oh, okay.
Lobo and the Authority.
Okay.
Yep. Basically, what's her name? Jenny Sparks. No, Quantum. Jenny Quantum. No.
Jenny something.
Is it Sparks or Quantum?
Quantum. Jenny Quantum. Because Sparks was her predecessor.
Right.
Quantum found a copy of the Paramilitary Christmas special, thought it was real, and unfortunately her powers made it reality, bringing Lobo in and everything. And then by the end of it, they've convinced Lobo, to give it up because basically Jenny once Lobo's taunting her, saying how.
Okay, I don't want anything.
We can hear you, Bianca.
So sorry.
I still wish that instead of doing the grimdark, edgy stuff with the Authority, we'd gotten like a whole series about all the Jennies. Like,
hey, Tavia. Who
was Jenny before Jenny Sparks? Was it Jenny Silk or Jenny? It was Jenny Steam. But who was Jenny before Jenny Steam? Was it Jenny?
Well, I gotta say, I like Mark Millar's history of Jenny Sparks.
Yeah, I don't think Mark Millar
Especially the issue with Hitler. Especially the issue with Hitler. That was surprisingly well done.
I don't think I remember that one. I might not have.
Yeah, well, basically, she was there. She's the one who kind of gave him his inspiration to give up being an struggling artist and make something of his life.
Oops.
Oh, you know what funny thing? The creative team of this, you know what else they did? That's an Elseworld.
What? Oh, no.
You've heard of this?
Nope.
This is the one where, get this, in this universe, and you have Commissioner Alfred Pennyworth and Butler James Gordon. You have Tim Drake being Nightwing and Dick Grayson as Robin. And it turns out, in this universe, Bruce had a brother named Joey, who got taken by Joe Chill and raised, and eventually became the Joker. It's one of those make no sense type of Elseworlds. It's just insanity. They were just told, do whatever you want.
Well, maybe that's what's going to happen with Superman versus Lobo.
Perhaps, but who knows?
But where were we before the Lobo stuff?
I was mentioning Rorschach.
Oh, yes. I dropped that, and I dropped Strange Adventures. I'm kind of mad at myself because I dropped Strange Adventures at issue 10, and I probably should have known to drop it before that. But
what about Batman Catwoman?
Oh, I'm still on board with that. That's great.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Now that Liam
Very
Sharp
good
is
series.
the artist.
For 2 issues, right?
3 issues.
3 issues? All right.
Honestly, I have no problem. I have no problem with Clay Mann's art.
No, not the artwork. No, not the artwork. I'm talking about the writing.
I'm just mad about the speed. No, I like the writing of Batman Catwoman.
You have Selina actually kill Joker.
I mean, I want to kill Joker, so I don't mind.
True, but it just feels like, and then you finally have the daughter calling, asking, like, and Dad, what did you see in her?
I think it's a good question. I like the questions that King is raising.
Yeah, but I'm not liking where they seem like where they're going with Andrea.
I ask myself that question all the time.
Well, I like Mask of the Phantasm, but I don't really care about Andrea because she's... I mean, if you have a question about what Bruce sees in Selina, there's definitely no hope for Andrea.
True. But I'll also say this with Andrea. You know what I always loved about with Andrea was Boys by Dane Delaney before she was Lois. Which makes the whole pairing to her, or her and Bruce up for a little bit even more fitting. During the World's Finest movie. Oh, by the way, also, what do you think about in the audio adventure, and how Jeffrey Wright is going to be voicing Batman?
So I've listened to the first 2 episodes, and it's not quite as bad as I thought it was going to be, but it's also not very good. How
is Wright's Batman?
You
have Wright on. He's going to be Gordon.
So stiff. It's not a Wright problem. It's a writing problem.
No. I know. I'm going to say no. You have Wright as Gordon. He's now Batman. He's also Uatu.
Who's Uatu?
The Watcher from not Watchmen, from What If?
Green Lantern.
No, What If?
Oh, okay.
What If?
Marvel. What If?
You're not talking about the one on Disney Plus, right?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't see him yet. I'm gonna binge.
No. He's there in the beginning. He's the bald guy, the big bald guy.
Oh, I didn't see it yet. I'm binge watching the whole thing.
But you have him in that, and he's going to be coming back as one of the few probably the only actor to play Felix in James Bond twice.
Wait, he was in more than one of those movies, though.
Yeah, I'm saying that he's the first one to do him more than twice.
Oh,
to do it twice. There's never been the same actor twice. He's the first one. Oh, I got to ask you, was Bond? What do you think about and do you think, given how it looks, do you think it's going to be as bad as everyone makes it out? Because here's one thing I've been hearing about. Everyone's been complaining about the script. So I don't think even with what's her name was involved, I don't think everything she put in is going to be used either.
Other than Phoebe Waller-Bridge, who worked on the script?
A bunch of others. It was a committee writing.
Well, that's never a good sign. Never a good sign.
Yeah, let me look it up. I'm looking up right now. The writers include Neil Purvis and Robert Wade, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, Kerry Koji Fukunaga.
That's the director.
Oh, yep, that's the director. And the story was by the 3 minus Phoebe.
Huh. Yeah, it sounds like it's a mess, quite honestly.
But
whether it's political or not, it just sounds like they didn't do a good job.
Now, here's the thing, though. I do not mind someone else getting the 007 moniker, because Bond pretty much retired at the end of Spectre. Let's be honest.
Well, and also, everybody knows that Bond itself, at this point, everyone knows that the theory that James Bond is really a code name.
That's always been up in the air still. They've never cemented that as truth.
True, but like, it feels like they're pretty committed to it at this point.
Especially, you know what moment really cemented me that that can't be true? When you had Roger Moore standing at the grave of Bond's wife.
Right, but I mean in modern days. Like, the fact that they kept M from Brosnan and kept...
True, but I think that was more because people really liked Judi Dench and she wanted to keep doing it. I do not think that was meant to be in the same universe because Spectre does not fit.
Oh, what part of Spectre actually?
No. Basically, they're having because no. Wait, you didn't like Spectre?
Nope. It's me, James, the author of all your pain.
I like the actor. He was perfect.
No, the actor is fine, but the writing was just really, really bad.
Yeah, okay, but I was saying this though. But the fact is, though, they knew Spectre existed. If this is in the same continuity as the Brosnan ones, then Spectre existed beforehand. And Blofeld
exists in
no. If you're taken by that Brosnan is connected to all the other Bonds. Did that mean, like to Timothy Dalton, Roger Moore, and Sean Connery? That means Spectre and Blofeld had to have already happened. Brosnan was
It was a Spectre and a Blofeld.
But you cannot. No, dude, that can't work that way.
But magic.
Nope. It's a different continent. Which I will get is, that's one thing to like the Craig one. It's a solid continuity more than it's ever had before. I like that.
It is trying to tie things together. I will grant you that.
And in fact, we have also one of the few, besides the first two Connery movies, but even then, that was more done as a gag, was the Bond girl. This is the first time we've actually had a main girl Bond girl in 2 movies in a row.
That is true.
Again, not counting what's her name from the first 2 movies, because that was always done as a gag where Bond would be with her, and then he'd run off to the next adventure.
Well, there was talk that Halle Berry was going to get a spin-off, but that...
As Jinx. That was their plan for... I gotta say this. I don't look at Die Another Day as the end of Brosnan. You know why I look at the end of Brosnan's movie franchise?
Golden
Everything. The game. Everything or nothing.
Oh, I see.
That's the end for Brosnan. That was his final performance, and that was perfect because it ties into the one with Christopher Walken as the bad guy.
I'm mixing this up with Batman. When was Christopher Walken the bad guy?
Hold on.
Because
that was A View to Kill. A View to Kill.
Oh, okay.
The final Roger Moore movie.
Oh.
Because in Everything or Nothing, you had Willem Dafoe, and he was a student, a pupil of Walken's character.
So, I look at Die Another Day as 2 different movies. I think the first half of the movie is actually a really good, interesting movie that does different things.
It deconstructs a bunch of Bond, especially the idea of that. They opened up a good concept. The world's moved on without Bond while he was stuck in Korea.
Yeah, and there's even some really good writing, like one man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter.
Freedom fighter, which is true!
Well, no, but they also say, this man doesn't care about anyone's freedom. So they sort of puncture that cliche.
True.
So, like, the first half of the movie's, like, genuinely thoughtful and well written.
Then you reveal that the Korean guy became a British bloke.
And they have a sunbeam and an invisible car, and that's where it goes off the rails.
What? I mean, even the idea, and way too many wink, wink, nod, nod. Oh, this will be your 20th watch? My, how time flies.
It just feels like they took it seriously at the beginning and then stopped taking it seriously, and it hurt the movie.
I say it's the moment it stopped taking it seriously was the magnificent view. When he looked at Jinx. That's the moment where... And then one of the worst pickup bits of, like where you think like, oh, don't take it out, and it was a diamond in her belly button. It's like,
that movie could have been okay, but then the second half happened.
Right. But again, no, I am interested in the idea of again, Craig, this being his last movie, and everything, and really, he's done 5 movies in a row. You gotta give him props for that.
Especially since it feels like he's having less and less fun with each one.
Yeah. I mean, the only one who's still without Dunham is Moore. Moore's technically the only one that's outdone him.
I mean, technically, didn't Connery have that extra movie that puts him over the top?
Well, that would tie him was Moore. Moore did 8.
Oh, okay.
All right. Connery did 7 official. No, wait, no. No, it's still Moore. If you add in Never Say Never, that puts him to 7.
Okay.
All right, that would put him to 7 because I was almost counting Lazenby's movie by mistake.
This never would have happened to the other fella.
But yeah, but again, no. But for him having 5 movies, though, still, I mean, that's one more than Brosnan. That would tie with Brosnan if you count Everything or Nothing, of which I do. Well, it's an original story with most of them cast and some new characters that are still played by big name actors.
Yeah.
Hell, it continues the tradition that Die Another Day did, where you have the singer of the title song have a cameo. You had Madonna in Die Another Day, and in Everything or Nothing, Maya has a cameo.
Who's Maya?
The singer Maya?
Oh. That's not the lady who did Let It Be for Lord of the Rings.
Let me look. Nope. But you know what I know her best in besides Everything or Nothing? Did you ever see Chicago?
The musical?
Yeah, the movie.
I've only seen the musical. I haven't seen the movie.
The movie of the musical is what I mean.
Right. I've only seen the musical. On stage.
Oh, okay. Never mind then, because she was basically in the movie version. She was during Cell Block Tango. She was the murderess who killed the Lipschitz one during Cell Block Tango.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, he saw himself as alive, and I saw him dead. Yeah, that was Maya in Chicago. I don't think so. Nice.
Well, here's my personal theory. I think that Gran Torino is the secret sequel to the Dirty Harry movies.
Possibly. Oh, you know what animated short I rewatched earlier?
What?
The DC Showcase Death. Sandman's Death. The animated short was Death.
Oh, okay.
That is still such a powerful, short. Was the artist? You've seen that, right?
No, I didn't. I knew that it was a thing, but I didn't know.
Oh, what about you, B? Did you see that short?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you two have got to see it. J.M. DeMatteis wrote it. He nailed how Sandman, the death of the Endless is handled.
I'll definitely watch it.
And you have Jamie Chung as the voice for Death.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of a book, you know what? One book I've reread that I realize is very timeless today these days. I think I've mentioned it before, but it bears repeating. This.
Frank Miller.
And Dave Gibbons, but part of the reason why I still find it's so relevant is, let me find it. Oh, where is it? There's basically a map that shows the divided states, a nation divided. America's all divided, but one I still laugh at, the first sex confederacy. Basically, it's all the extreme feminists getting together thinking, men destroy the world, we women know what's best. And their only advantage is that they took care of it, they took of a satellite with a deadly weapon. And you have some other ones. You have, one that's called God's Country, which is more or less a smoke-free, drug-free, no bad music, no bad food, no bad language. It's basically like, when Dan Saw made that joke about why don't you go to Jesus Land? That's pretty much what that was. You have the, one case you have is called Wonderland, which is basically, the world's largest entertainment. It's pretty much Hollywood. But anyway, anything else you guys have been reading?
Vampirella's ending, and Christopher.
Oh, it is ending? What's it ending on?
Number 25.
Yeah, I'm surprised. It was supposed to be 12 issues originally, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was originally a year long, and then they stretched it out to 2.
At least they give him enough of a heads up to set it up, for to stretch it out and not, And that's one thing I would give Priest. He's one of those writers who, when he knows he's going to stretch it out, he at least makes sure that it's stretched out properly, not, scrambling.
So, I did get a few indie comics.
Oh.
One of them by Tom Taylor, Seven Swords.
All right.
One of them called 20 Fists. Which is like a mini series, like 3 issues. Another one is called Beasts of Burden, which is like has many mini series, I guess, and I didn't know that, so now I have to get the rest so it can make sense to me. Right. It's mostly about these 3 dogs like travel, I guess, but it's a horror comic.
You mentioned dogs and horror. You know what book I skimmed through but didn't buy yet? Stray Dogs. You know about that, right?
I do, yes.
Do you, Ian? Oh, you tell him about it, B.
No,
I don't
can't
do horror.
I don't do horror either, but it had dogs on it, so I got it.
Describe Stray Dogs. What I mean.
I cannot. Is it because I don't really know?
I thought you read. I thought you said you read it.
No, I know about it.
Oh. Basically, Stray Dogs, it's about this one dog whose owner is killed. She's been taken in by this guy who has a lot of strays, but it turns out he's the one who's killed her dog. And it's basically what brought up the idea was this notion of people who are serial killers, but they have these dogs and they have pets. What would it be like for them? But anyway, 2 books I've been rereading the first, because I only have the first issues. Transformers Shattered Glass. You know what this is? It's basically the reverse universe. Basically where you have the evil Autobots and the good Decepticons.
This looks a lot like Black Sad.
Black Sad? Oh, you're talking about what she was talking about?
Stray Dogs.
Oh, Stray Dogs?
Have you read Black Sad?
No, I have not. Also,
basically European Disney artists do noir with dogs.
Gotcha. oh, Black Sad. No, I do know about that because I have the game.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, I also reread through this. You know what one thing I liked about this issue? We finally have someone acknowledge the Batman-Catwoman relationship. I'm like, about time.
Yes. Gotta have that Bat-Cat.
Now, granted, that's in the next issue, not the physical one, but the digital one. But
I've been reading King Shark. That's been fun.
That has been really fun.
Let me think. What else?
Oh, you've read the Flash issue. We should mention about that.
Of course. Oh, Flash. Oh, yes. You should promote.
Yep. Oh, yep. Let me get the issues. Hold on.
Have you been reading Flash B?
No, but I've been wanting to.
Oh, you should check it out. It's actually really, really good.
Starts at Rebirth, right?
No. This is the Infinite Frontier run.
Infinite Frontier.
Especially this issue.
Yes, that issue was The most recent issue, and it's so
Tristan
good.
did a review on it, B.
Yes, I remember it. I said.
And then you had all the idiots from Ripa's channel because he posted up the stream that Cheerio's on, started coming and saying, just talking shit about her. And it's like, you guys are a bunch of sheep.
Sheep? Bah.
Meh. But I love that. But you know what I really like was another issue I loved? Was in this, 771. Because this is the one that has him interact with Irie as an adult.
Yeah, that was a really good issue, too.
Yeah, I love that. Especially when, just her sheepish. They're like, oh, shoot, forgot to take it off. Her wedding ring. Like, yeah, I'm married. He's great. I mean, you hate him, but he's great. But I also love, like, fine, Jay's dating this girl.
And I'm trying to remember, who was she married to again?
No, they never said.
But I thought we figured it out.
No. We never figured it out. It's meant to be a tease.
It has to be someone we know, though. Otherwise, it wouldn't be funny.
Nope. But anyway, but I love this. Like, she's a bit much. Time traveler. You two work together from time to time. I think she's giving you an ulcer. Which you're like, so Jay is dating Gold Beetle? Yes. That was great. But I love it when he says, like, being retarded and she does the spit take, like, But again, it's showing that this is a much stronger relationship with her and that, the two have than the Kingdom. Where that one, he was basically a never there dad.
Yeah, who wants to read that, though?
Yep, although they have it be that it turned out she's better at controlling the Speed Force, but it's done so haphazardly, but it makes sense.
I mean, if you go up with someone it would make sense that you'd be able to surpass them, right?
Well, not just that, but given what happened, things to Reverse Flash during Flash Rebirth, I think that has something to do with it.
Ah.
Taking the powers and merging them, her brother's power and merging it into hers.
That sounds complicated.
I didn't think that they showed up until Flash Forward.
No, Flash Forward was bringing them back.
Right.
Those were those are still the pre-Rebirth and the pre-New 52 Jay and Iris.
Right.
So, but the events of Rebirth still I'm talking about Flash Rebirth, as in the Jeff Johns, Ethan and Skyver.
Okay, so that's why I'm confused. Got it.
Yeah, that one.
I was like, what?
Yeah,
but that makes much more sense.
Yes.
That's the problem with Jeff Johns using Rebirth too often.
Well, I get it, and that was a joke they made. Remember, there's gonna be another Flash Rebirth. I'm talking about the mini, the Flash Rebirth mini. During that Reverse Flash, yeah. Oh, by the way, you know about the Death Battle show, right? You want to know one thing they cemented that's gonna probably tick you off?
What?
They've made it very clear Batman is useless without prep time and plot armor.
I mean...
They really made it clear, because you know why? He's only won one fight in Death Battle. That was Captain America. He's lost to Spidey, he's lost to Black Panther, and he just lost to Tony. Even with the Omega armor.
Okay, it sounds to me like this is just a bunch of Marvel fans.
No. They actually do research, and the research shows.
But
this is fictional. The whole point of Death Battle is that you throw them in there, and basically they have to be no prep time, no nothing. They're basically tossed in with whatever they have access to.
I remember the Wonder Woman versus Thor, and I believe
that was a great one.
That one.
But then
who won?
Wonder Woman.
But this was during New 52 when she had the Zeus origin Titan and basically took off the gauntlet and the bracelets. She was more powerful, basically making clear her powered up form. She was much more stable than Thor was in his berserker mode.
Well, I think that Death Battles just isn't for me in general. The concept, not even.
Well.
I'm interested in the story, not the statistics.
True, but I'll just say this: they actually put in the next one's going to be Reverse Flash versus Goku Black.
So 2 characters I know nothing about.
You don't know about Reverse Flash that much?
I mean, I know he is. I don't even know if that's Zoom or Reverse Flash.
No. It's going to be the Eobard Slan one. They're going with that one. Which, given how Williamson ended his run, I think he has a better chance than Goku Black. Oh, but they also did Luthor versus Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom one-handedly, and I agree with that one. You know what I mean? Did you hear what I said? Yeah, Lex versus Dr. Doom.
Lex versus Dr. Doom.
Yep.
But that's not fair because Dr. Doom's a super genius who also has superpowers.
True, but no, they did try to amp in Lex's favor a little bit. Like they brought in the him having Superman-like powers from the Everyman Project from 52. You know, the 52 weekly series.
Oh, okay.
They tried to bring that into it. They tried to give every chance they could to Lex. He still lost.
Still not surprised.
Yeah, I agree with that one. They also did Hulk versus Broly.
They did a Hulk versus Broly.
Oh, and they also did Spider-Gwen versus Batgirl. Babs. And Babs lost badly.
Not surprised.
Well, given how Spider-Gwen has a symbiote.
Spider-Gwen, for such a relatively new character, has way too complicated a continuity.
Yeah, agreed. I agree.
Is the symbiote new, or have she
It's
always
been around
had
for
it?
like 6 or 7 years, but like I started reading I haven't read a ton of Spider-Gwen, but I started reading when Shauna McGuire wrote the series, and I was like, wait, why is her status quo that she has a symbiote? Why is she? It's way too complicated. It's not bad. Like all the things are like sensible if you read about them, but it's like it's the kind of thing
it's not new reader friendly. It's not new reader friendly.
Super not new reader friendly at all.
Yep.
And I'm usually someone who doesn't have a problem reading in the middle of things.
Now I will just say this: another death battle that I think you might like when I mentioned it was Cable versus Booster Gold. Booster Gold won handedly.
Yes.
Huh.
Well, you know why? His force field. It's way overpowered. Way overpowered. And you know what? We want to know how Booster won? He actually extended his force field to Cable and then contracted it. When they also did Wonder Woman versus She-Ra, Wonder Woman won.
Oh, I want to do my quick Marvel solicits because there's only 4 titles.
Yes.
Yep,
Yes.
okay.
Okay, so first one is Black Widow.
Okay.
Because I have been enjoying that series. And then I actually have been listening to this podcast, and I just heard the trailer for the newest series, Wastelanders.
That's the one I'm interested in. I'm super hyped about.
It's that in the Old Man Logan Hawkeye universe, right?
Yep.
Now, it is set in the past, though, because how else is Logan alive?
I think it is set before the end of Old Man Logan.
So, yeah, the death of... yeah.
So before the Hulk incest.
That was so stupid. Oh my goodness.
Now that was Millar, and
that's Trouble Millar at his most troubly. Okay.
Now I get out. I'll say this.
So these are just covers I like. This is one of the covers for Beyond, and you can see how you have.
Where do you stand on what they're doing? Where do you stand? Do you think they're flailing?
Oh, I mean, they're definitely flailing.
I say though, so long as Zeb Wells is involved, it has a potential.
Oh, it definitely has potential. It's just clear that they're flailing. Okay.
And what is the notion that Peter
This is the other cover I think looks really cool. Like, look at that.
Oh, that's a cool cover, yeah.
It's a sperm whale with a tentacle tongue.
Ah.
I know where this is going.
Nowhere good.
Not good. Oh, yeah, but by the way, and the reason why we're out with Jeremy Adams, he's going to be on my show on Thursday.
Yeah.
Yep, for 30 minutes only, but hey, better than nothing.
You had better tell him that Flash issue was amazing.
Oh, I'm going to gush. Gush. Dude, have you seen my interviews? I have. When have I not gushed? When have I not gushed?
That is very true.
That's the recent one, 774.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, tell him that he made Wally West look like a snack, please.
No, that's the
that
artist.
was Christian Duce.
I know.
Also, ask him how to say Christian Duce's name. Is it Christian Douce or Christian Duce?
Right, but
isn't it always pronounced douche?
I have no idea. It depends on if he's French or Italian.
I know. But I gotta say though, yeah, I loved how he drew Irie.
She's so cute.
So adorable.
I
gotta
Did you see a picture of Adam's daughter on Twitter?
No.
Oh man, because Adam's daughter was one of the big inspirations for the issue, and
I'm not surprised. Hey, how much you want to bet she came up with the dreams? How much you want to bet?
She did. There was this whole story on Twitter that Adams was talking about how his daughter came up with the monsters, and she drew the pictures, and then the artist translated that into the comic style.
That explains so much.
The two-headed rabbit.
Then Shark
and the panda with the hole in the middle.
Yep. Panda donut.
Oh, but I love the dynamic between Wally West and his daughter. It was
Irie, yeah. Oh, love that.
That was heart-stopping. It was so good.
And in fact, it's right next to. They're dancing, the other's tangoing.
One is the tango, one is the devil's tango.
With the devil's lettuce.
Yeah, but seriously though, yeah, Jeremy Adams is so good, and his writing on shows has been good.
Oh, what shows has he written for?
Or movies? Hold on, let me look. Funny enough, he did that Justice League World War II.
The recent one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hold on.
No wonder I liked it.
He's also done a number of the Lego DC movies. Oh, he wrote Teen Titans Go versus Teen Titans. He's written the two Mortal Kombat Legends movies. He's written on he's done some of the Scooby-Doo movies. He did the Batman Soul of the Dragon.
Oh, neat.
He's done stuff from Supernatural. He's did a bunch of the Lego stuff. He did an episode of Young Justice. Oh, he wrote The Return to Zombie Island. I won't hold that against him. Justice League Action.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, he worked on the DC character biographies for the Scribblenauts Unmasked.
Oh.
Yeah. So he's done a lot. Whereas Tim Sheridan, hold on. I know he's done a bunch of writing too, but his writing has been more. He's done stuff for the Masters of the Universe, Revelation. He did the two Batman Long Halloween movies. He did at least some parts of the Death and Return of Superman combined movie. Oh, he wrote the Curse of the 13th Ghost for Scooby-Doo. He wrote that Superman Man of Tomorrow movie. He wrote some episodes of the War for Cybertron trilogy. So they've done a lot, but a lot of that stuff's been hit and miss. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. Some of those stuff were like a major miss, and some of them were like, oh, well, I actually did like that one.
Well, now, to be fair, you know which episode of He-Man he wrote? The one where they went into the underworld, Underturnia.
Was that number 4?
That was the one with Skeleglow. With Orko's death.
Yeah, I think it was episode 4 or 5.
No, that was 5. That was 5. Remember that led into the final episode 6?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Well, guys, I gotta start turning in. I'm getting tired. I'm starting to get drained.
Yep. This has been a 2-hour stream.
Yep. Thank you two for coming on. And
we did it, boys.
Yep, we did. And again, thank you both for coming on. It was great. I'm gonna use Restream more often.
Yeah, I think the connection was pretty good.
The connection was good, and it feels like I don't have a limit amount like I do on StreamYard. because I'm nearly running out on that. It feels like some of the way I'm looking at the overlay, you don't see it that like I do.
Mm-hmm.
It looks a lot better.
Okay.
Definitely clearer here. How was my new mic, by the way?
Oh, your new mic is
great.
Yeah, you sound great.
You.
Yep. And from what I've heard, you're going to be appearing on Tristan's show coming up, right?
The anxiety.
You're going to be on her live one, her Morning Brew.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard. But
she's been so busy, so she hasn't been emailing me as much, which I understand. So I'm just waiting whenever she talks. Mm-hmm.
Yep. I just need to I want to get back on with her so we can finally wrap up that talking about the 5G timeline.
Yes.
Seriously, Ian, I'll say this. Have you seen that video with me and her?
I think I started it.
Yeah, have you seen it? First, we're all fine. Once we got towards the end, I'm losing my shit because especially when it's like, wait. You're saying that Lex, you had the President-Lex, and then Public Enemies happened the same year? Lex saw his 4-turn play out. He didn't get overthrown within his first year.
No, it all has to happen in 1 year.
Bullshit.
Just like all the Robins had to happen in 5 years.
And then yet somehow who is Wonder Woman, the Alan Heinberg, Jeff Johns, apparently happened after Flashpoint.
Wait, what?
If you look at it,
I think I did see that. I'm just sitting there being like,
well, if you see that's where Donna Troy takes over as Wonder Woman, that's where you made clear. Where else would that have been, right? Because that's the only time Donna's ever taken over.
That's so stupid.
Which reminds me, I'm super hyped for the 2 new Wonder Woman stuff coming out later.
Wait, which one?
Evolution, and was it Nubia?
I think.
Yeah, Nubia. Yeah, those look good. But
it's so interesting that they were all in on Yara Flor at the beginning of the year, and now they're all in on Nubia, and I'm like.
No, they were actually. I feel like they were in on both because Nubia had that backup as well.
She did, but Yara Flor got the TV show that
he was going to. That guy, yeah, I think that's what killed a lot of the momentum.
Yeah, but I don't know. It feels weird to me.
But I ask you this though: do you think while Bruce is gone, Jace is going to take over? Or do you think that Ridley's going to stay in his corner?
I mean, here's the thing. We've already gotten the first solicitations for January, and Jace is nowhere to be seen. So I just don't know. It feels like...
I think it all depends on what the new writer's going to do.
Yeah. I just have no idea.
But I will say this as well. One thing I'm glad is throughout all this, you're having people replacing the heroes. At least it's made clear up front they're temporary. Arthur's going to go off and raise his daughter. Bruce is going around the country. Clark is off doing War World. At least it's made clear they're temporary. You know what I mean?
Very true.
I mean, do you agree, Ian? At least they're made up front that they're temporary, these replacements.
I mean, I don't think DC is dumb enough to try a true Batman replacement without having a Bruce story at this point.
They're not basically. I always say as a standard for an example of a bad replacement story, Riri, because there was no point to the story. It was done so much in a way to make it clear, Tony's never coming back.
Well, and the problem with Riri is not that Riri is a bad idea. It's just that the execution was so poor.
The execution was so poor because, again, there was no plan. There was no story that needed her. Almost every other replacement story has needed that character to be around, whether we knew it or not. Even Jane Foster Thor needed it.
Right.
You know what I mean? You needed that to build up to the War of the Realms.
I'll take your word for it. I haven't read any Thor, ever.
All right, but even that was needed. Riri was not needed at all.
Unfortunately.
And unfortunately, Bendis had no story plan. But at least here, though, they're making it very clear that right now they're gone. Someone needs to fill. And that's what they do. Though, They're not making it clear right off the bat. Batman needs to wait. No, wait. What's the name of that arc that's coming up after Fear State?
Shadows of the Bat.
That's one thing that could lead into Jace taking over.
It could be. It could be like Battle for the Cowl.
It could.
But if it is, they're being really cagey about it. They're not.
I think they're waiting to see. I think Ridley's on the way out because he's going to stay at Marvel.
It does feel like Ridley is playing in a corner and nobody cares.
That too. Now, to be fair, Tinian kept him in that corner. I think, though... Wait, what?
How do you see that?
Well, to be fair, because he's the one who had final say in a lot of things, and he's clearly not been touching any of the balls that Ridley's been playing with.
I mean, I would argue that's because Ridley's plotting is super boring.
That too. I'll say this. I think Ridley sees that was Coates gone from Marvel. I think he sees himself as being taken over. Ridley seems to be the kind of guy who will jump in and replace anyone just to keep, the notoriety.
I don't know.
I think he's looking at
Marvel. I thought
Marvel.
He started out okay, but I'm getting more and more pissed off.
Oh, yeah. And same with you, B?
I blacked out for 2 seconds. What was the question?
John Ridley. Do you think he's gotten worse as he's gone on?
I wouldn't know because I don't buy
You don't read
stuff.
it? All right. The way he's been ruining the foxes in general.
My boy, Luke Fox does not deserve this disrespect. He is a good character.
He's going to die. He's the one that's going to die.
I'm going to be so angry.
You know it's going to be him.
I'm going to be so angry.
And knowing Ridley, you know what he's going to probably do? He's probably going to bring back the original Batwing.
Zavimbe? Jeez.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people actually be happy about that because he has a lot of fans, and that's cool. But I like Luke, okay?
Yeah. Luke was Luke before Jace came around. Jace is just a second-hand Luke, and we know that because it was originally supposed to be Luke.
Correct.
And I would have preferred Luke in this Batman stuff.
Yes.
But I bet you really felt like he wanted a clean slate so he can do whatever
he wanted. That blank slate so no one could say that's not in continuity.
I know, and yet he's free to ruin Lucius.
And Tanya.
Oh, God.
And Tam.
Wait, which was the one in Red Robin?
Tam.
I love Tam from Red Robin.
But now she's Coma Girl again because Ridley doesn't care. Tynan spent so much time just making sure that the Fox family was in a good place, and then Ridley comes along and is like, everybody sucks again.
Now, I do not care that they swapped Tam and Tanya's ages.
Yeah, I don't really mind either way about that one.
Yeah, but I love Tam and Red Robin. I loved it. Yeah, I mean, especially one of my favorite moments. It was after Christopher Yoast's last issue when he had Fabian Nicieza take over. I love how he dealt with the whole, is Bruce engaged to an older woman? Is Tim engaged to an older woman? And they basically had to be, okay, Lucius was able to get it resolved. But then it's like, I just loved how he has it framed and everything. He says, imagine my pride. And he's like, you realize she was joking? Yes, but when it comes to a reporter like Vicky Vale, she should have handled better. And you just see Tam is just like, But again, I loved how Lucius was messing with Tim. That is my favorite, my Lucius, right there. The guy who can be firm. The guy who can be firm.
Weird, corrupt, bitter man.
Yeah, bitter man who never seemed to appreciate Bruce only when he was putting his own neck out. And then he decided, he's bringing kids into it. I'm going to find a moment to undermine him as soon as I can. That was the worst part. And then Alfred knew.
I'm not into it.
That's what really got to me. That if everything else, I could have tolerated everything else, even made the absentee father to a point, but that flashback is what pushed me over the edge. It's like, since that long ago. I mean, B, what do you think about all this? How they're ruining Lucius.
I love Lucius so much, you have no idea.
So you're fuming too, right?
I am.
I mean, hell, he didn't have much of a role, but I still loved how he was handled in here.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? I mean, it's not much, but it's still well more, beloved. Hey, B, have you read any of these Batman Earth ones?
Nope, I didn't read any Earth ones, whether Superman, Batman, or Wonder Woman.
Well, do you want to see how Catwoman looks in this?
Sexy. That's just Huntress.
He looks. I was gonna say he looks like the stockings remind me of Joker's daughter or something like that.
Yeah, but to be fair, though, this is the kind of outfit you would gather with what you have in your house.
Ooh.
And come on, and just tell me this before we wrap up. Batman Returns. How the hell did Selena make a whole leather suit out of that one leather jacket?
Magic.
Oh, speaking of which, it's Miracle Molly. Did you notice that was pretty much Batman Returns Selena?
Yes, it was.
I'm glad I'm not the only one. I saw that. I'm like, it's Batman Returns Selena, but she's tech-based instead of cat-based.
Mystical cats.
I'm just like, what?
It was good, though.
Oh, it was good. It was very good. And I felt so bad for her.
Yeah. I felt bad for her husband, too.
Oh, yeah, especially now do you think... In fact, I didn't know much about her, but now that we know her backstory, I'm like, oh boy, I wish I stayed in ignorance.
It's so sad.
Because it makes clear now why she seems to straddle that line. Like, she's not a full villain, but she's not a hero.
Yep. I just think it was a really well done comic there.
Now, here's the thing, though. Do you think that really is her inner self, or do you think she's just been brainwashed?
I don't know. I am very curious to see what happens with her.
Yeah, given how she basically changed so utterly. It feels like it was brainwashed, more or less, doesn't it?
Yeah. But, I mean, there was an element where she was making the choice.
True. Especially the moment she decided to sneak in and get her stuff and then kill the guy.
Yep.
And that guy was Max Shrek bad, wasn't he?
Yep.
He was, but without the charisma of Walken.
Yeah, you need the walk-in.
You need the Walken. All right, guys. Now we're definitely wrapping up. All right.
Okay.
It's midnight where I am, and B is. So I know it's 11 where you are.
Yeah.
So thank you, anyone that's still here. Thank you for coming. And take care, and see you all on the next one.
See ya.
All right.